Welcome. I greet everybody. I greet you, Engineer Taura. Greet you specially. Oh wow. I have unmuted my mic since. Wow. That is quite interesting. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I welcome you powerfully, dear Engineer Taura. Welcome so powerfully. I welcome everybody. My mic has been on mute, and I don't know. I have no idea. Wow, this is quite interesting. Please, let's share the live. Let's share the live, and of course, we would get started immediately. We want to make sure that we do justice to this topic. Doing justice to the topic means that we look at the reality of the Nigerian people. True and true. What is their reality? And of course, you back Engineer Taura. Big shout out to you. Big shout out to you. Big shout out to you. Thanks for coming. And I really appreciate your coming to today's program. And I'm very happy to welcome you powerfully to the stage. And we will get things started. And of course, it will be hinged on the topic, country of a particular concern. Is our country, the Nigeria, as a context, a country of a particular concern? Or perhaps it's an exaggeration of the reality of the Nigerian people? Are we really exaggerating things, or it is actually true that Nigeria is a country of a particular concern? What are we going to do moving forward as a people? All right? What can we do moving forward? Except just to complain, and complain. What is our strategy as a people? What's our national strategy as a member of the oppressed? Do you identify as an oppressed Nigerian? What is your strategy? Looking at the context of the country of a particular concern. Nigeria as a country of a particular concern. What is your strategy? All right. It is very important that we ask this question. All right. Because the oppressed must actually have the kind of strategy that is needed. All right. Otherwise, we are just wasting our time. What is the essence? If we do not have a strategy, if we do not have anything that we work with to dismantle the current system of things, the current concerns around our ordeal as a country, what is the whole essence? Thank you so much. It's nice to have you, Engineer Taura. You've been joining and going, and of course, I believe that is network. Are you there? Let me just confirm if my guest is very much there.
I'm here. I'm around.
Oh, thank you so much. It's nice to have you. It's nice to
Thank you
have
very
you.
much. Thank you
It's
very
nice
much,
to have
Mrs.
you.
So
So thank you so much. Thank you so much indeed. The country of a particular concern, it's a very important topic at this moment in time. What is your concern as Nigerian people? Or do you think everything is under control? You like everything as it take be like this now? All right? You are satisfied with the current system of things in Nigeria? Or perhaps you want things to change? Or you are part of the problem? All right? Are you part of the problem? Or you want things to change? Do you want the maintenance of the system of things, or perhaps you are just one of the bad guys? The bad guys fanning the flame, fanning the flame of discord with the people. It's very important we put all of these things in perspective. Perspective matters a lot in discourse. All right. Are we really making it up that Nigeria is a country of a particular concern, or it is actually true? Are we really pushing a propaganda here? Let me inform all our groups that we are live. We are live. We are live. We live. We live. We live. So please, let's share the live stream so that it gets to all that everyone that it should get to. It is very, very important that we push this live stream. We are still very much three from my system here. We are just three of us here joining from the Movement Radio Twitter. Let us share the live stream. All right, thank you so much. Thank you so very much indeed. So yeah, country of a particular concern. Country of a particular concern. Is Nigeria a country of a particular concern? Or we are just making it up? Let's take a listen to one of our intelligentsias in Nigeria talk about this issue.
Ensure that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu does not get re-elected in 2027 in the same way that his predecessor Muhammadu Buhari got re-elected in 2019, notwithstanding retrogression, worsening mass abject poverty, and mushrooming armed bandit groups. That is all that can be credited to the All Progressives Congress since 2015 till date.
The sound
perpetuating the war
is a little bit low. I don't know, Engineer Tauri, can you hear very clearly the professor speaking?
Economic resources of Nigeria, to which the so-called All Progressives Congress under the presidency of Muhammadu Buhari added S-men terrorism. And that is coming from the so-called All Progressives Congress.
In Nigerian agri system. You know, a lot of times they'll tell you government incentive, government incentive. But as a farmer, one of the biggest problems I've come to realize that the Nigerian farmers face, it's not really government incentive. The problem with the government policies is geared towards only production. But what happens after production, it's none of their business. So I give you an instance. Most times when you see government say, oh, they're empowering farmers, what are they doing? They are bringing seeds, fertilizers, tractors, farming implements, and the rest. But don't bake strawberries. But is that the only problem farmers face? No. The problem is nobody is talking about post-harvest losses, logistics problem, and a whole lot of these things. Now, Plateau State is only state in Nigeria that grows strawberry commercially, particularly Jos Axis. And these guys have been growing strawberries here for the past more than 10 years and more than 20 years. Now, some of the problem we face is, one of the major problem we face is logistics. How to move this our products from the farm to the city. Before, we used to take it to the airport. Arik Air used to fly Jos, but now they stopped flying. So now we have to go and start thinking of either taking it to Bauchi or taking it to Abuja to transport this thing. Normally, strawberries arrive Lagos 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, 10 o'clock in the night, strawberry has not arrived. Why? Because the system is not designed to handle what happens after you've gotten your strawberry. Rather, the system is designed to just support you to the point where you get your strawberry like this, and that's all. Whatever
you're welcome.
To the next point, the system is not designed like that. Now, how do I mean? Do you know that in Plateau State, the state government owns a transport company, but there is no dedicated vehicle that is said, okay, the Plateau State government is giving strawberry farmers one bus to say, okay, this bus is to help people transport your goods to Abuja at a cost. It's not free. We're not asking for free. So you will not see farmers every time they are running around trying to transport whatever they are selling around Abuja or around Jos to wherever it's going to. So these are some of the problems farmers face in Nigeria. We are talking about post-harvest losses. And let me tell you, if you look around, most of these products get spoiled before they get to where they are going to. That's the thing. During rainy season, come and transport strawberry. Before your strawberry will get to Abuja, half of it is already spoiled. There is no cottage processing center located in Jos. For the past 20 years, these communities have been producing strawberry. We've not seen any probably subsidized cold room in these communities. Most of the cold rooms you find there are privately owned or donated by NGOs. There is no one funded by the government. There is none said, okay, there is no, let's even say, value chain addition center, nothing, not even made in just the same way. This is the same problem they faced when they
this is a farmer complaining.
No support. The coffee
bitterly
died. So these are the problems that, because then the governor was more focused on grow coffee, but he wasn't focused on how do we market our coffee.
From the looks of things here from the studio, we have
about,
a farmer complaining.
It's not all about it.
About the reality of farming in Nigeria. Strawberry farming is the area of focus. Strawberry farming. And he was highlighting what the problem is, that, well, the government intervention always end at the production level. Beyond the production level, it's all crickets. Beyond the production level, it is, you are on your own, basically. You are on your own, pretty much. You are on your own. And how do you fix that when you are basically on your own? I think the audio is better now on X. Yeah, so I think we are going to work on the audio on the X. So just to bring the devices closer to my mouth so that they will get the the feedback of what is happening in the studio here. All right, very important. Okay, let's take it like that. So, working on the audio at the moment. So here is a farmer saying that whatever happens, post-production, the government is not interested. But pre-production, the government is very, very much, very much vehement about how farmers must deliver. Farmers must deliver, but post-production is an issue. This is what the farmer is saying essentially. If you are tuned to us from the studio, you see the agitation or the lamentation of the Nigerian farmer. Let me try to play the video again.
Government incentive. The problem with the government policies is geared towards only production. But what happens after production? It's none of their business. So I give you an instance. Most times when you see government say, oh, they're empowering farmers, what are they doing? They are bringing seeds, fertilizers, tractors, farming implements, and the rest. But don't bake strawberries. But is that the only problem farmers face? No.
The video is the audio. The audio of that video is very, very poor, and that's why it's very low. The audio of the video is very poor, so I'm just going to be summarizing whatever it is that the speaker is saying. Is a farmer. You can see him on the screen talking about how Nigeria is a pathetic concern all through APC. How Nigeria is a pathetic concern all the way through and through. Pathetic concern, and how we as a people must do something to disrupt this oppressive system with our influence, with what we can do, all right, to bring about some level of sanity. It's important we bring sanity to the system. Otherwise, what is the point? We just raise our hands and submit and surrender to the system. Are you going to surrender, or we are going to put up a big fight? Engineer Taura, are you there? Do you have any comments? So far, so good. Okay, engineer, you are still not connected with us yet. We would get to you whenever you're ready. We are very much particular about the opinion of people here. The opinion of people matters to us a great deal. And we welcome every opinion. We would not disregard any opinion or suggestion from this side of things. We welcome every opinion. We salute every opinion from this side of things. And of course, no one would feel shut down as far as we are concerned. Yeah, we respect everybody's views from this side of things. Maybe perhaps let me wear my cap. It seems as though this one is not coming out nice. Yeah. I think, yeah, let me wear my cap. I think my cap is better than that one. So yeah, is the country is there any cause for alarm or cause for worry as far as the Nigerian construct is concerned? Or we are just being alarmist? Are we just being alarmist, or there is cause for worry or cause for concern? That is what we want to highlight today. All right. APC, a country of a pathetic concern. And of course, let's share. We have shared this to all our platforms. And we are still expecting our comrades to join in. And as it stands now, we are about 5 of us on the broadcast. Oh, we're just starting. We are just starting, and we will continue to showcase the reality of the Nigerian people across board. We have taking a look at the farmer situation. All right. We are taking a look at the farmer situation. And of course, there are other things I want us to highlight. We will also highlight the ordeal of those that were kidnapped. People that are okay. I can see you, Comrade Netu, for bringing you on stage right now. Just a minute. Comrade Netu, for big shout out to you, my comrade. Big shout out to you. Unmute your mic. Your mic is still muted. Try to unmute your mic, comrade. You are still not coming out clear. Or is it from my side here? No. Can you hear me? Let me try and unmute you from here. Let me see if it's from here. Oh, you are unmuted. Why are we not hearing you? Can you hear me? Am I audible to you? Comrade Netufo. Comrade? I think we have a network issue here. Oh, Netufo is having a network issue. So we have a video footage also of a description of what people are going through in the hands of bandits. I think that one should come out clear.
4 million. 4 million. Then. Hello, sir. Hello. Ben, mo gbọ́ yín. Wọ́n ní pé kẹ́ wá 5 million lónìí. Wọ́n gbà wọ́n. Ká wá 5 million lónìí ká gbà wọ́n. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Mo ń gbọ́. Wọ́n ní pé kẹ́ wá 5 million lónìí kẹ́ wá gbà wọ́n lónìí. Ó dáa, o ti gbọ́. 5 million àbí? Wọ́n ní pé kò gbúdọ̀ ju yín lọ, wọ́n fẹ́ pa wọ́n ẹ̀jọ́. Á wà lágbára Ọlọ́run.
This is the ordeal of an average Nigerian in the hands of bandits. This individual was kidnapped by bandits, and of course, they are negotiating with bandits. That was the conversation that you just heard there. Oh, wow. Wow. I think, am I coming out clear now? Oh, wow. So all these while I've been muted. Wow. So sorry. So sorry about that. So sorry about that. I think I'm coming out clear now. I think 100% I'm coming out clear. And of course, these are the technicalities. I have to operate so many things. This other phone, the laptop, the audio, the microphone, so much technicalities. But I think what we're talking about today is a country of a pathetic concern, APC. And of course, we want to highlight some of the realities of the Nigerian people while we are at it. We want to highlight the reality of the Nigerian people while at it. What is the reality of the Nigerian people? Is this an exaggeration? Is it some sort of exaggeration or the reality of our people that we are trying to highlight to the public? And of course, we actually played a particular sound bite of the ordeal of a Nigerian that was kidnapped. And they are saying, let me play it one more time. So that, let me play it one more time. Wow. Let me start from beginning.
4 million. 4 million. Ben.
Is the audio coming out clear now, dear comrade?
Hello, hello, sir. Hello, hello, bẹ́ẹ̀ni, mo ń gbọ́ yín. Wọ́n ní pé kẹ wá 5 million lónìí kẹ wá gbà wọ́n. Ká wá 5 million lónìí ká wá gbà wọ́n. Sir? Hello, hello. Hello, sir, hello, sir. Hello? Hello?
So
Hello, sir.
essentially, this is the ordeal of the Nigerian people, where kidnappers are basically negotiating and like, well, go and bring 5 million, go and bring 4 million. All right. That was the Yoruba conversation. That is just the summary of that conversation, where they are trying to communicate with bandits and they're like, go and bring 5 million, go and bring 4 million. This is the ordeal of the Nigerian people. This has become an entire industry on its own. Kidnapping is a huge industry. Comrade Netufo, your network is breaking. I don't know. Can you hear me, Comrade Netufo?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Now we can hear you too from the studio. Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, loud and clear. And of course, the comrades on X also can hear you loud and clear. This is Comrade Netufo will be joining us to give his own 2 cents on the issues that is of a particular concern in Nigeria. And of course, we have sent link to all our speakers, our regular speakers, to also join us in the studio so that we can have this very important conversation. So yeah, this is like the ordeal of the Nigerian people, a very pathetic situation where people are negotiating, basically negotiating, how much last, how much is the last price. Yeah.
5 million àbí. 5 àwà alágbára Ọlọ́run. Àwà á tún pè yín padà. Ẹ ṣeun gan. Á pè yín padà.
Let me interpret. They were asked to bring 5 million. I said you have to bring the 5 million today. Bring the 5 million today, or we are going to kill them. That is the kind of country that we are finding ourselves. That is what he's saying in Yoruba language. 5 million. You were asked to bring 5 million today. Without today, forget about it. All right. We are going to take them out. That is what it means. And of course, big shout out to you, Africa in the Box. I can see you are reposting. Please repost the live stream. And we have the honor of having one of our great mobilizers on the show today, Comrade Netufo. Comrade Netufo, what can you say about the topic, a country of a particular or a pathetic concern? Country of a pathetic concern. And if you look at it, the reality that is staring across the board, we have Nigerians complaining. At the beginning of the live stream, we played the video of this farmer. This is a farmer complaining about the fact that the government, whatever it is that they are offering, is
a problem with the
pre-production. Please take a listen to this.
Production. But what happens after production? It's none of their business. So I give you an instance. Most times when you see government say, oh, they're empowering farmers, what are they doing? They are bringing seeds, fertilizers, tractors, farming implements, and the rest. But don't make strawberries. But is that the only problem farmers face? No. The problem is nobody is talking about post-harvest losses. Logistics
Post-harvest losses, now, according to the farmer, is a big issue. Yeah.
Only state in Nigeria that grows strawberry commercially, particularly Jos Axis. And these guys have been growing strawberries here for the past more than...
Let me amplify that because the volume is a little bit low. He said Plateau State is the only state in Nigeria that grows strawberry. All right. And of course, whatever the government have to do is pre-production. All right. They produce you, they give you or provide you with seedlings and all of those things. But whatever happens after they have provided seedlings for you or created an avenue where you can have access to the seedlings, they don't care. All right. Whatever happens to your post-production, your planting, or what your harvest, whatever happens to it, government doesn't care. So this is the ordeal of the average farmer, and people are saying that we are losing millions of dollars to post-production losses as a result of nonchalance. It's a pathetic concern across board, from the farmers to the ordinary citizens whose relative are being kidnapped. So what do you have to say, Comrade Netufo, about the pathetic concern of the Nigerian country, APC, a country of a pathetic concern? Let's hear your comments.
Yeah, Comrade, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes. If you can speak louder, we'll appreciate. But yeah, you are coming out clear. Yes, you are coming out clear. Please proceed.
Okay, thank you once again for bringing me up. And then thanks everybody listening to us. One big issue I think I should address first is that Nigeria has a pathetic concern. When it comes to governance or governing a country, we don't have a leader, which is the most important thing. Nigeria has no leader.
We have no leader.
Who has rose up to that point of power? No, we've not gotten that right. So a country who claims to be who has an independent, who claims to be and who has never produced a leader, that all we've been producing, all our people has been voting for, are rulers who don't understand the problem of the people, who can sit to diagnose, to bring out the solution to the problem of the people, who all they sit and do in sports zone is to sit somewhere, think of how to steal from the people, think of how to steal our resources, think of how to divide what belongs to us within the elite, not coming to us. So a country like that, it will be hard to call that a country. There was a time I wrote a book that is still coming out very soon. I'm working on it. That Nigeria is a lost country. Like at every given day when you sleep and wake up, with news and everything you hear is we've missed road, we've missed target. Nothing good that has ever come from this. Right from the worst of all is that this Buhari and Tinubu regime has brought Nigeria to a stage that we cannot even explain again.
It's unfathomable. The degree of rotting system is so huge.
Imagine a farmer saying something about reproduction, production, and whatever. He should even be grateful to them. What they will be telling him when they see the video is, look at this idiot. Be grateful that we even give you seed and fertilizer. A country where rulers don't know that it's the ability of the government to provide those things and also monitor the process. A government who don't know that to monitor the process of what the citizens consume. They don't understand how governance happens all over the world. What they just want to do is to go to US, go to UK, eat, take our money, their family, and enjoy themselves. So they don't care if we are alive or not. That is why at every given time, once you see them at the position of power, all they want to do is to make sure they secure everything they have so that they don't go down again. They steal from us, they steal from nation. Don't be surprised if I'm telling you that even there's a news we read of recent where disabled are not being paid salary. So it means that this government is still stealing from people who cannot even walk.
Disabled people, from physically challenged people.
Challenged people. So is that not telling you something that we don't have a government? A government where the president left the country. That all you can say about that traveling is that he's in so place after people are shouting, where is their president? There's no accountability of whatsoever. And are you here to blame the government? No. Well, let me just say, maybe by mistake, let me just say this, that, okay, a country where we have too many foolish people, that is what happens. A government where you see your people who has not eaten, a country where you see your people has not eaten anything since morning, and they will come on Facebook and be praising APC, who is destroying their life. Are they not set of foolish people? How can you explain it that anybody will come online and still tell you that at this stage in this country that the problem of insecurity is not Tinubu's fault, it's not APC fault? They will now divert everything back to Buhari. Buhari also did the same thing. These are citizens who should have understand what it takes. These are citizens who should be the one advocating for good governance, but they will always, at every point in time, sit somewhere where they are not comfort. It's not like a comfort zone. It's not like they are okay. It's not like their life is better, but they will sit somewhere and continue to support the government who has brought them to this. Subsidy has gone, nothing to show for it, and they band be light every day, still at the same point of problem. What you pay for, you can't get it. Now tax is coming in, but because they don't have the knowledge of how it's going to work, they don't have the knowledge of if a government is taking money from the bank, citizens don't see it affecting them because they don't understand what the bank management come up with. So they don't look. Here is a country where we have foolish people who don't look beyond what is happening currently. And to worsen it, they have some people who call themselves analysts. Those are the most foolish people in this country that you will see them on TVs. They'll be analyzing how subsidy will be productive, that how subsidy removal will be best for Nigeria. Till now, this is 3 years. We've not seen anything. So they will go to TV and explain to you. Imagine somebody telling, see the first video you played. The first video you played, kidnappers negotiating with families of victims. In a normal country, in a working country, what should have been the instant solution is for the government to track down the kidnappers wherever they may be. Let me tell you this so that you will understand. Where you are at your comfort zone, the Nigerian government has the power to track down where you are if you see anything against them when it comes to public when it comes to social media issues. But it is always hard for them when it comes to kidnapping issue, insecurity, to track them down. But when it comes to somebody is abusing somebody's son, somebody's wife on Facebook, before you know anything, they activate the police station in Nigeria to come and arrest you. And you still call that a government? We don't have a government in this country. A government who don't see to the affairs of the citizen. A government who don't care how you live. A government who just felt, let us finish this our 8 years or 4 years and take whatever belongs to us, and other people will come from the elite and take whatever you have. They are rulers. They are not leaders. They don't know how to rule. That is why you will see that Pathethic, the current president of Uganda. So what I want to pick this thing out. The president of Uganda rigged an election and is clear winner. The president now of the ECOWAS has not released a statement. Even with a clear scene of beating molestation, killings of our people in Africa. They don't see anything wrong. That is where I have problem with Donald Trump. Donald Trump cannot see anything wrong in what is happening in Uganda right now. But immediately the citizen rise up to the point of fighting back, he will always see what is wrong in that state. Is that not madness? So sometimes I said Nigeria was a country. I don't know. I have a book about it. Nigeria was a country. That is what we are facing. See, our people in the world. Let me tell you this. Thank you that you are showing this video. There's something currently going on at 12 right now. The government are demolishing some parts of my 12. I can tell you this. People are complaining, are talking about Makoko. They're talking about Oworo. And the truth of the matter is, what are these people looking for? What do you want to get in all this? You want to do the real estate and become a Banlami who will have a 400 apartments at a roll in a place out of fraud. That is all what they want to gain. Take people away from a land, call it a swampy area. You are not making provision for the citizens, for a place for the citizens to stay. Can you please go back and ask Oworo people how many people has died since started that demolition? So it means instead of the government securing the citizen lives, they are killing the citizen. What else can we say that we don't have a country? What else can we say that we don't have a leader? It is a clear statement that we don't have leaders. Because in a normal country, the king will wake up and say this place is suspended and meet over 2,000 people and display them overnight, and the government is not saying anything. And we don't feel something is wrong. But I don't blame them. I still blame the citizens who are not ready to rise up. I remember, according to what we heard, plus and I can tell you that every military parastator in this country are not even 1/4 of what we have as masses. Anytime we are ready to fight, we will fight and back. And it will happen if they don't stop this madness and shenanigans they are putting us through, because we cannot continue to endure kidnapping, endure insecurity, endure starvation, even in a country where you work, nothing is working. For your people will not say anything wrong. Instead of them to think about to solve the problem, they are thinking about to come in 2027. And you see Nigerians out there still appreciating them, thanking them. And anybody thank this government in power. How can you even appreciate this government in power? What have they done? Our people have been displaced over everywhere. The best you can see that because security in this country, the best you can see is for them to mount a roadblock. That even when you hear about the roadblock, you will imagine sometimes that from Lagos to the boundary of Ondo, you make 3 roadblocks. From Ondo State, the boundary of Ondo State, you make over 15 to 18 roadblocks. Is that not extortion? How well can we explain it that nothing is working in this country? So thank you so much. I'm still here with you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so, and of course, you have made mention of something very important, that what is the attitude of our people? Because attitude of our people matters. If they are willing to resist or perhaps just want to resign to their fate. Let's take a listen to this audio, please.
Fine, I'm living there. Me only support me obey. So, everywhere. I'm the camera and zoom everywhere. Government so we don't have anywhere to sleep. Anywhere we are homeless. Some government issue for us. So some people are homeless. They are sleeping on the boats. Some people they are even managing sleeping there. So we don't have any choice. If you know that you want to help us, Am I
Can
being
you
question for because I'm tagging you.
you see what is she saying? She's asking for help. She's not even calling out the government that demolished their house. And this is the typical attitude of the Nigerian people. All right. Instead of them to go all out, to be as ruthless against a government that has been ruthless against them, they rather begin to beg online. Just take a listen.
Guys,
Just keep
you people
listening.
are not turning up. So do
You
you
see?
want us to die? And then some people they are complaining that they are living in dirty water. Oh yeah, government, yeah, go. Lórí yìí ti burú, orí yìí ti dàrú. Ibi tó rí bá dání sílẹ̀ èèyàn máa ń gbé. So, we don't have money to rent house. If you know that you want to help us. Ẹ̀yin bad commenter tí ẹ pé àfikẹ́ comment láti bà èèyàn nínú jẹ́. Ó lè jọ under bridge lẹ́ sùn sí. A lè so lórí burúkú ní inú yàrá yín dẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ ó lè máa ṣe wọ̀. Ẹ wo bí báyìí sí. Tẹ́ bá rí ẹlòmíì, tẹ́ bá rí inú yàrá ẹlòmíì so beautiful. Ẹ máa sùn sí bíbẹ̀ because ọmọ mẹ́rin bẹ́ẹ̀ lómi ṣe design nínú ilé ẹ̀ pop wà nínú ilé ẹ̀ inú ilé bóyá jẹ́ nínú ilé pákótó pop wà ń bẹ̀ ẹ rọra náà ọlọ́run lè gbáyé léyìn lọ́wọ́ o but at least àwa náà ọlọ́run.
So she went on and on rambling about the whole thing, but I did not see any form of trying to even basically speak against the government that demolished their house. She is transferring the aggression to her fellow Nigerians. She's transferring what a people, and and this is not only how many of our people like that instead of them to really resist, or see if all of them decide to take their mattress and their bed and their mats and go and occupy Alausa, it is more than it will send a strong signal whether or not the Alausa will be able to curtail that kind of visiting. The visiting of Makoko people is enough to shut down the whole of Ikeja. But they have this attitude of just resigning to their fate and say, well, nothing we can do. The government is more powerful than us. And they'll not begin to now transfer the aggression over their fellow Nigerians. And they'll now start complaining and also start begging for money, for assistance, instead of them to really hold their government accountable. And this is a very, it has become a culture. It has become a mentality in Nigeria that they just raise up their hands and say, well, it is well, nothing we can do about it. They just accept their fate and move on. Many Nigerians in Oroshoki now, Mile 12, Makoko, even in some part of Ibadan, where the government is going all out against them, to protest against the government is becoming hard for them. And I begin to wonder, what else? Okay, I don't know whether it's only me. What do you think that the government can do that will really get Nigerians angry enough to shut down this system? I don't know if you can give me some postulation. What do you think the Nigerian government can do that will really anger our people that will really prepare them to do something about their situation? Because me, I'm confused from my own, I don't think I'm tired.
There's one thing I want to say. I need to let you know this. You see, sometimes all these people that you see, these Nigerian citizens, these are brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Two things is affecting them. The first is fear. The second one is the aspect of religion, who has brought fear into our fathers and our mothers' mind. That from the point of you don't need to fight the authority, you don't need to fight the government. And those things are just a way of churches preventing, securing what they have, securing their criminality, their lies. It's just a way of making sure that they cover their lies with what government is doing, because the best place they can penetrate today through churches and mosques. There's no doubt about it. So I cannot deceive you. This lady here, she's even courageous enough to come online. That should be a gift for some people. Some people are not ready to come and say, they are ready to come and talk to Nigerians about this. Some people may even be asking her, why is she going to that length of saying fear of the unknown has brought them to this stage. But I want to say this. I don't believe in Hamas or whatsoever, anything anybody say. But going through the process of Russian Revolution, Arab was going through the uprising that has happened in this world. It has always been this way. NSAS is also a typical example of how police has been molesting people, killing people for long. Nothing has happened. But the guy who triggered the anger of the youth to the street, quote and unquote, the guy, according to reports, they said he was alive. Nigerian thought he was dead. But the government could not stop that anger, and that is how it's going to happen. Russian Revolution has happened, issues has come up for long, many things has happened, nothing is happening. A date of revolution has been picked over and over and over again, it never comes up. But what triggers it that day that Russian Revolution happens is still the same thing that will happen in everywhere in the world. If our people are ready to fight and they are tired, they will come out. They will not see Showore as somebody who is overwise. The only thing they will see then, they will see Showore like somebody who has the love of his people. They will see Showore like somebody who
Seems as though we are having connection issue with Comrade Netu for okay. Comrade? Wow, we are having okay, Comrade, are you here? Yeah, we are back. We are connected back to you. Yeah, we lost you for like some seconds. Yes, we can hear you. Yeah. Please proceed. We lost you for like 5 seconds. Yeah. Comrade, are you there? Wow, Comrade is having a network challenge. And of course, it's very important we highlight all of these things so that we get the realities of our situation. And Comrade was basically saying that, well, if we are serious enough, if we have enough hunger in us, we will be able to step out. But the question is, when are we going to step out? And that is why I asked that question. I asked Comrade that question. I said, what will really move the Nigerian people to really come out? What would trigger them? What would trigger and even bring about a larger magnitude? You know, like this one will be like a child's play, because this was last year or upper last year when we're talking about end bad governance protest. Enough is enough protest. We've had NSAS protest. It's all protest. It's not a revolution. When are we going to have the Nigerian revolution? The Nigerian revolution that will bring about a total cleansing of the system. Because by and large, it has been just Nigerian people complaining. And of course, it has still not removed the fact that Nigeria is a country of a pathetic concern. A pathetic concern that needs to be addressed as a matter of urgency. So many things are happening at the same time, all right? So many things are happening at the same time. And even our intelligentsias have a thing or two to say about it. But are we really listening? Our farmers, we have played the video of our farmers complaining, all right? Complaining that, well, it seems as though the government doesn't care about post-production. Post-production, all they have to do for you is to facilitate how you are going to get the seedling. This is Plateau State, and a farmer is complaining about the fact that the government is not, whatever it is that happens to your harvest, Whatever it is that happens to your harvest is none of their business. You know, they can facilitate how you get the seedlings, but post-production, your harvest yield and how to move it from point A to point B, the government does not have any interest. Let's take a little listen. I think the audio is a little bit low, but I think we can get the gist.
Logistics problem and a whole lot of distance. Now, Plateau State is only state in Nigeria that grows strawberry commercially, particularly just axis. And these guys have been growing strawberries here for the past more than 10 years and more than 20 years. Now, some of the problem we face is, one of the major problem we face is logistics. How to move these our products from the farm to the city. Before we used to take...
He's saying that they have a logistic problem. All right, a logistic problem in 2026. How do you explain it, ladies and gentlemen, that our farmers cannot move crops from the farm to the retailers? It is still a problem in 2026. Just getting vehicles, dedicated vehicles that is ready to provide logistic, all right, without any form of fear, and a secure movement from the farms to the market. It is still a challenge in 2026 in Lagos. What a pathetic country. APC. Let's keep listening.
To the airport, Arik Air used to fly just, but now they stopped flying. So now we have to go and start thinking of either taking it to Bauchi or taking it to Abuja to transport this thing. Normally, strawberries arrive Lagos 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, 10 o'clock in the night, strawberry has not arrived. Why? Because the system is not designed to handle what happens after you've gotten your strawberry. Rather, the system is designed to just support you to the point when you get your strawberry like this, and that's all. Whatever happens from this point now to the next point, the system is not designed like that. Now, how do I mean?
And it goes on and on to explain. I think you got it. I think the audio was quite audible enough. It's not that loud, but at least the audio is audible enough to get the gist that there's a problem with our agricultural sector. And do you now wonder why there is shortage of food in the market, or why the foods are very, very expensive in the market, when these are the realities that farmers deal with? Logistics. It's a very, very serious issue. And many countries all over the world don't joke with stuff like this. They don't joke with They don't joke with logistics, because they don't want anything that would basically affect the production, what's it called? The blockchain of from the farmers to the end users. Countries don't joke with it, because national sovereignty also involves food security. And a country that does not have food security, what kind of country is that? Is a country of a pathetic concern. APC. Country of a pathetic concern. And of course, they will come and argue with us. They will tell us, no, this is not the reality. This is not true. You are blowing it out of proportion. But yeah, come and tell us what the real issue is. Tell us. All right? Let's even assume that we are blowing it out of proportion. What do you have to say to the complaints of the ordinary farmers, as we are seeing on the screen here, and how this whole problem, the problem of logistics, is leading to a lot of problems, food shortages in Nigeria? And of course, let's take a listen away from agriculture. Let's talk about academics. And we have this great professor that is going to address us on the concerns in the academics, in the academic sector in Nigeria, in the educational sector. You might need to say,
in Nigeria's universities, and overlook the exploitation of the lecturers by their union the Academic Staff Union of Nigerian Universities, ASU, and how the leadership is orchestrating prolonged strikes. Such people are either oblivious of the facts, or they are deliberately dodging it out of dishonesty. Otherwise, the exploitation, the unprecedented, unrivaled, and unsurpassed exploitation of ASU members by ASU leaders dates back to 2012, when the leadership by itself amended the constitution of the union to be getting 2% of each ASU members' monthly salary monthly as monthly membership due.
Did you get that? That the ASU, Academic Staff Union of Universities, have made it like a law, have made it compulsory as a matter of automatic deduction of the monthly deduction of salaries of university lecturers every month, 2%. All right, let's keep listening.
And to increase or decrease the 2% as deemed fit by the leaders alone.
And he's saying that they have the right to increase or decrease, or of course, I don't know whether or not they have, we've had any case within the union where they decreased the 2% or they decreased the percentage. They have the right to increase the percentage and decrease it as they deem fit. If the authorities of ASU decided to increase the percentage of deduction as a membership due of being a member of ASU, you have nothing to say about it. You have to comply.
That was when the unbridled exploitation of ASU members started.
Exploitation of ASU members. This is just an in-house something that this is P.O. Abioje. That is Professor P.O. Abioje. This is a university lecturer, a professor in his own right in University of Ilorin, giving us this expose, this in-house situation, all right, of a country of a particular concern. This is looking at things from the lens of the academics, the educational sector in Nigeria. And of course, you begin to hear strikes and strike upon strikes upon strike upon strikes. These are the foundation, the real issues that is causing the strike. And of course, the ripple effect of strikes in the lives of students is something that is very, very glaring. It's very, very clear how strikes have affected the lives of students. And some students who will have graduated within the span of 4 years, they will end up graduating after 6 or 7 years because of, strikes upon strikes upon strike. And these are the reason. And this is the lecturer saying that there's exploitation going on between, in the higher ranks, the upper echelons of the Academic Staff Union of Universities. Let's keep listening.
The leadership amended the constitution and empowers itself to be getting 2% of each ASU member's monthly salary monthly as membership subscription, as membership fee of a workers' union. Well, it must be noted that membership of ASU is equal for all members. And you would have expected the obligation to the union to be equal for all members. Whereas salary percentage is not equal amount of money from each member, because the members are not earning the same salary. And as a matter of fact, why salary percentage instead of a uniform minimum amount of money to be paid as membership due on monthly basis, as it used to be? Hence, I note that the unprecedented exploitation of ASU members started in 2012. And as from 2012 to 2024, the membership fee monthly of ASU is 2% of each ASU member's salary on monthly basis. In 2024, according to the Constitution as amended by the leadership, the leadership decided or deemed it fit, to use the expression in the Constitution, deemed it fit to increase the 2% to 3%.
Did you hear that? In their own wisdom. You see, when we talk about the fact that the unions are compromised, the unions are compromised. When we talk about this thing, it seems as though we are blowing things out of proportion. That there's no way, everywhere will be like this. But this is just looking at academics, the educational sector, where the leadership, the upper echelons of those that should represent the union of university staffs, the lecturers, the professors, they are oppressing, they are using their power to oppress their fellow professors, their fellow so you now begin to see where our problem is coming from. Not only is that the House leadership are in bed with the government of the day, every government of the day, the leadership of the ASU has been in bed with them. Hence, how our universities have deteriorated. Go to all our universities, all of at least the legendary ones, all right? They are a shadow of themselves, a country of a pathetic concern. They are a shadow. Go to Unilag. I live just a stone throw away from Unilag. Is a shadow of itself. The classrooms are messed up. The quality of education is nonsense. Go to University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Go to University of Ibadan. Go to OAU. They are all a shadow of themselves. Thanks to the corrupt, rotten leadership of the ASU, all they do is just to do shakara protest. Shakara protest that after cutting deals with the government of the day, they return back to status quo and basically continue whatever it is. And it is very, very obvious now with this revelation from P.O. Abioje, a professor at the University of Ilorin, that there is huge, apart from what they have been taking from government, they have been extorting from their fellow lecturers. The Nigerian staff unions across board, both NLC, the one in NLC also would people will still argue with us that NLC, nothing is wrong with NLC. Are you not satisfied with how they are basically putting pressure? What kind of pressure are they putting? This old shakara protest that we are going to go and protest tomorrow, and after just theatrics, they go back to their offices and share the lagis that the government gives them. All right. I was in the radio station when somebody was calling in that at a point in time, his in-law was part of the leadership of NLC, and that every time that they have meetings with the government, after they must have threatened to go on strike, after the meeting, after they must have agreed with the meeting and everything dust and dusted, and they call off the strike, the in-law will always either buy a new house or a new vehicle, brand new vehicle, or open housewarming of a new house. This is from a radio station that I heard with my own ears, to give you an hint to the level of rot in the system. You now begin to complain why Nigeria is the way it is. It's a country of a pathetic concern. And that is what APC represents. A pathetic concern, people, all right, gathered together to sink the country into the abyss. And they are doing a good job in doing that. Unless the Nigerian people decided to act fast, the current trajectory is a very sad one. Let's keep listening to P.O. Abioje about the expose in ASU.
So, as from 2024 till date, ASU leadership has been extorting 3% of each ASU member's monthly salary monthly. It's unheard of anywhere that a workers' union will be charging a membership fee by salary percentage. What is the function of a workers' union other than if there is any issue with the employer to call a meeting and decide together as workers how to respond to the issues or crises arising with the employer. In the case of ASU, you have the local employers, the universities administrators, and the government that owns the university. So, it's not more than that, constitutionally speaking, that workers in a place organize themselves to have a common front on issues of rights and the entitlements of the workers. It's not more than that. It's not more than that. Ideally. But ASU leadership descended to this level of corruption. Unfortunately, supported by the universities, administrators, and the government. Yeah. In some instances.
And you heard that there's huge synergy between the leadership of ASU and the government of the house. There's no way. You cannot be surprised that this is the situation, because it's a symbiotic relationship. And of course, that is how it is across all unions. So this is not only ASU. Even if you take a look at the Union of Nigerian Doctors, Union of Nigerian Teachers, Union of Nigerian Farmers, all of the unions, they are in Paris. They are having a symbiotic relationship, because this should be the pressure groups. These are the intelligentials. These are the workers that should basically form the pressure group against a rogue government. A rogue government would not, go rogue if there's huge pressure from the unions. Otherwise, we are joking. The reason why some countries you don't have the realities that we are living with now in our country is because there is huge pressure or backlash that is going to accompany any government anyhowness. But look at our unions with this, all of these revelations. And of course, even before this revelation, some of us have been suspecting that there's no way you have this kind of docile, unions across board. They are too docile. Whatever the government tells them, they just go ahead. Gone are the days where we have the theatrics, even the theatrics of Adams Oshiomhole under Obasanjo. It was all theatrics, but at least you can see some vibrance. But at least over the years, things have gotten from bad to worse. And of course, they are now unhinged. All right. They are now monetizing being a member of an association that should basically carry the interest of the members of the union as the front burner of their agenda. That should be their paramount objective. You basically look at the welfare of your members, and you use your collective, effort to solve it. That is the whole essence. Now they are telling us that government is owing them how many months' salary, that they're just really paying in previous years that they have not paid, and there's an MOU that is not been agreed yet by the government, and the union always do meeting with the government, and at the end of the day, nothing comes out of it. Let's keep listening to P.O. Abioje, a professor in University of Ilorin.
The Vice Chancellor and some of his deputy Vice Chancellors of administration, of academic, whatever, have been ASU leaders themselves. And so part and parcel of the corruption of ASU leadership. And then government. Because exploitation of ASU members by ASU leadership is not possible without the collaboration of the employers, local and national. The administrators, the university administrators, and government. So anyway, that is the unprecedented, unrivaled, and unsurpassed exploitation of a workers' union by the leadership throughout the world. We don't know of any other workers' union charging membership fee by salary percentage. So scandalous. So scandalous. Not only very exploitative or extremely exploitative, but very
everywhere you look in Nigeria,
in the second
is exploitation upon exploitation. Even from the so-called oppressed. Because by and large, you can make the argument that, well, the lecturers are oppressed. You can make an argument that, well, the unions are Nigeria is hugely underfunded. You can make that, Yeah, you can make thank you so much, Comrade African Wahala. You can make the argument that our educational sector is underfunded. You can make the argument that our lecturers are underpaid. Yes, they are underpaid. 400K is less than $300. That is a huge slap in the face. That is for senior lecturers. I think for senior lecturers is around the realms of 600 to 700K. It is still less than $1,000. It is still less than $1,000. That is terrible. All right, you can make that case for them that, well, these are oppressed people. But can you make a case of oppressed exploiting their fellow oppressed? And of course, ignoring the real mandate of what should be a union. A union. Big shout out to you, Comrade Shenwa Ilara. Big shout out to you. Big shout out to you. Big shout out to you. You're welcome to the stage, to the studio. It's nice. It was nice having you yesterday. It was firecrackers all the way, for over 5 hours yesterday. And of course, it's nice to have you. Thank you so much. You rock. You are the sort of idons that we need. The kind of idons that can bring fire to the liberation message in Nigeria. Thank you so much. It's nice to having you. I don't know whether you or not any of these discuss talking points have jumped at you before we continue listening to this wonderful professor giving us insights to the inner workings of what had been an exploitative union, a union that has always played the card of being a victim. But meanwhile, they are also very much oppressors in themselves. What do you have to say so far, so good, Commission?
So let's start by, sorry, let me greet you. Pardon my manners. Comrade, how you doing? It's been an hectic one for you today. I hope you get the necessary rest, right?
I sleep more.
Yeah, go on. Like Baba Fela said, Malanu biapere
basket man, don't want to slick again, no.
Basket man, one talk again, no. Yeah, so my people would say that the child that have insisted that his mother would not sleep, that the child too should be ready and willing to prepare for vigil. But this time around, it's not going to be binding any devil. Is that there will not be sleep or slumber. You know, you know, that
absolutely.
That is the realities that these people have caused. Everywhere they go, they cause chaos. They bring sorrow, stress, and blood. Them regular
trademark.
Them regular trademark. Them regular trademark. So, if that is the regular trademark, we too, we should not be tired of, you know, expressing our dissatisfaction against it. At least that is the starting point. We should not be tired of organizing against such structures and against such systems that have made up their mind that they will be happy when they see us destroyed. Because that's what this system is telling us. That what they call civilization and development is our, you know, wretchedness. We are seeing that constantly with the people of Mapuko. We experience it with the people of what's this other slum very close to Oworoshoki. Yes, Oworoshoki, right? So that the regular trademark is to destroy us. That's what they call civilization. Let me tell you what will happen with this construction. They will build the likely Oko Atlantic or something similar, Makoko Atlantic around this space that the indigenes of this space cannot afford. That is what they tell us. They want us to replace development for civilization. They want us to say that civilization is now equal to development. That even though we cannot afford daily 3 square meal, but that we can take picture in front of a waterfall, then that is equal to development. No, that's not equal to development. Development without the people index is not development. They want us to pay attention to useless statistics of how they have been able to double the money that we are owing by consuming on debt. And say to us, because they can clear the debt they are paying to their imperialist master, that they are doing well. This is their own metrics. This metric does not favor us. They want to deceive us, to say that you can see that there are no beggars by clearing all the beggars off our road and streets without necessarily engaging in what is called upliftment and true empowerment program, in such a way that you begin to organize systemically building industries, engaging these people with industries, Because you can engage these people by building industries. What industries do we have to engage the poor, to engage the homelessness, to engage the people deprived of basic education? Nothing. But what they want to call development for us. This is what this propagandist Congress party wants to call development. That they have cleared them. They have sent them back into their village. Is that development? That cannot be development. That is not what we should be after. Civilization is what they will promise. Even that civilization, they do not have it. That explains why one of our comrades, senior comrades, went to Eco Atlantic to wash toilets. Because even Eco Atlantic cannot boast of drinkable water from the pipe. We are not even talking of drinkable. In this case, water useful enough, clean enough to have baths. They do not even have it. And that's Eco Atlantic. And that characterizes the whole of that environment. And it is absurdity compared to a place that is almost largely surrounded by water. Because it's called island for a reason. I mean, they call it an island. But it's island only on paper. And only towards destruction. It cannot even that the people who are living in an island needs to buy pure water to have baths. Can you imagine the absurdity? They're in the same island, they are buying bottle of water for 7,000 naira.
When somebody is surrounded by so much, but still complaining of scarcity, that is just a pathetic situation.
Extremely pathetic, comrade. Extremely pathetic, beyond reasonable doubt. That is something that we would see. I have a presumption that in another 500 years, some of our misrulers' brain and some of the so-called elite would have to be exhumed from their grave. Not because they have done anything meaningful, because the generation coming will be wondering, how can this generation call this development? What are they thinking? How are they thinking? Are you sure they are human? We need to test their brains. We need to look at the configuration of the skeletal skull to see whether it's the same with us. Because, and this is what we call development. This is what our big mannerisms is about. Wretchedness all over us. Scarcity all over us. But it is not the doing of nature. It is not natural. It is all human. It is all human, courtesy of the current administration and their collaborators also. It is all human, courtesy of the people they work for. Because they work for people. They work for people. If water is not benefiting us, that we have water, check it very well, look at it very well. There is somewhere that the pipe is taking the water to. Just like if you check it very well, if the people who have the crude cannot refine it, there is a place that the pipe is taking the crude to. Those places that is the crude, the pipe is connected to, are the ones benefiting from our collective resources. So it is in our interest to disengage and discontinue the relationship with our stooges of imperialists, so that we can discontinue the negative reactions and interactions that they have had with their stooges, with their international collaborators, such as IMF, because it was IMF who suggested to this current unprogressive party that they need to remove subsidy. And without them doing so, that they will not get loan. It was IMF. And just like in Mumu, they call me Mumu. Just like the Mumu administrators too, they will buy into the Mumu behavior, regardless of the consequence. The consequence is what we are facing en masse. these will be the consequences. But it will be disastrous in another 2 to 4 years' time. Some of us think that we've gotten to the climax of insecurity. I think we have not even scratched the surface with what the damages that is being caused by these administrations on a daily basis. People are thrown in some climate. Government consider how to throw more people into the class of the Arabs. But in this side of the world, government strategically think, government bother do a think tank group to think of how to throw more people into the group of have-nots. Does that make sense? That you must have property before.
It makes absolutely no sense that while some other serious governments, they are trying to lift their people out of poverty, our own set of administrators, the pathetic leadership in Nigeria, they are sinking more people into the abyss of poverty. That is terrible.
Extremely terrible, Covery. Extremely terrible. So,
and you have analysts that will be telling you, showing you data that the economy is recovering. The economy is now in the true sense of it. This is the true worth of the naira. This is the normal rate at which we should be buying fuel. They will begin to give you every sanitized data set to give you an illusion that everything is under control. When in actual fact, they are basically losing control of everything.
Zombie, oh zombie, zombie, oh zombie. Zombie no go move unless you tell am to move, zombie. Zombie no go talk unless you tell am to talk, zombie. Zombie no go think unless you tell am to think, zombie. Zombie, oh zombie, zombie, oh zombie. So zombies, we are in the current state of zombieism, where they can be prompted. And how do you prompt them? With daily 2K. Some of them are looking for daily 2K. But they have forgotten that after they have found the daily 2K, the biggest job will be to spend it. People don't know that the biggest job of daily 2K is to spend it. Because if you find daily 2K in an environment as toxic as this that they have created, that people barely, compromise at any level on things that should not be compromised. How can you think of people compromising pet bottle drink? People are, in order to make money from this system, from this exclusive system, people have to fabricate a way of making counterfeit of drinks less than 50 cents, less than $0.50. Pet drink is 500 naira. $1 to naira is about 1,200 naira. So that's about 30 cents or 50 cents at maximum. So people have to get involved in atrocities that would only bring about a return of. It can't even be the return of 50 cents because you have to factor that they also have a cost. The cost of production might not be as equivalent as the company that produces it, but they also have to share some level of cost. But the concept in itself, so that means that when you have that money to spend it, where are you going to spend it? That the food you want to take is almost poison. Then even if you are lucky with beverages, you are lucky with getting quality food, how do you want to sleep at night? How do you want to transmute yourself?
Comrade Sean, please let's take a listen to this sound bite by an oppressed, just to validate your point that the system is designed to sink people into poverty when in other climes they are trying to figure out to bring people out of poverty. Let's take a listen.
ọ̀kadà tuntun bàjá tuntun lọ́gbà lọ́wọ́ mi wọ́n gbọ́kadà lọ́wọ́ mi mi àjọ ẹ̀ ṣàánú mi o àwọn tásìkò ti tẹ́kọ̀ títà lọ́ gbọ́kadà lọ́wọ́ mi o ọ̀kadà tuntun bàjá tuntun lọ́gbà lọ́wọ́ mi wọ́n gbọ́kadà lọ́wọ́ mi.
I hope we got that. You know, he's saying that, well, the system took the only means of livelihood that he has. 2 Bajaj motorcycles has been stolen or hijacked or seized from him. But we don't want to use the word seized. It was stolen from him because there's no way, unless we want to sanitize all of this old, grammar. You know, they actually took that means of livelihood from him, and we can't call it seizure. We have to call it, theft. It's pure theft. And now look at how passionate that this guy is, and he is basically undergoing a traumatic attack. A traumatic attack, saying that, please, see? How do you explain a government that sinks its people into poverty, that people are even trying to survive in the midst of this paradise of oppression? But all you have to do is not even to give them a cushioning effect, but all you do is to seize what even seems to be their only source of livelihood. What do you think about that, Commission? And big shout out to you, Comrade Alaba Ferreira. Thanks for coming. It's nice to have you. I know whenever you're ready to speak, you are going to really engage with us. Please proceed, Commission.
It's the story of an average person, earlier on the space or in the studio, you played a voice message of someone who said the government, took away our house, right? And she was left packing from her house, becoming homeless by the orchestration of a system that has failed to provide, accommodation. Before we even go ahead, that is also part of the responsibility of forming government. When the need to form a democratic or central government was being discussed, one of the reasons that were assigned to government is to be able to cater for the needs of the people. And government is failing at a larger scale from basic to the highest level, because when you take a man homeless, when a man becomes homeless without a shelter, he loses every form of his security. And this is why there is a multi-dimensional poverty happening to us, that one way or the other, the poverty blow is eating us. But this is where it is now even more disturbing, that the so-called government that is supposed to be the shield, that is supposed to be the succor for the people, is the one deliberately orchestrating these moves. Is the one. The government is the one, the APC government and their collaborators, because we know that they move beyond just political party now. They are used to changing uniform. They first changed uniform. Obasanjo changed uniform in 1999. Wear agbada. All of them changed uniform, wear agbada. But that did not stop the act. The act is the act. A person can deceive himself to become a wolf by wearing the wolf clothing, or a sheep. A wolf can deceive us by wearing the sheep clothing, but that does not mean that internally it has changed. So clothing does not change these people, just like membership, party membership does not change them. Follow them when they rebrand. They do not change who they are. That is why they call it APC today. Note that it's not different from when it was ACN. If they call it ADC today, note that the player, if the faces are the same, they are not different from when it was people deceive people. A pathetic Congress, is that not what you call them? APC.
Yes, a pathetic Congress of a particular concern.
Pathetic Congress. A pathetic concern.
Congress of a particular concern. APC.
Very pathetic Congress. They are the Congress of the pathetic, right? So it has not changed because they use this to bobo us. It is what fella called the fact that it's government magic, but it is outdated. We are no longer naive about the gimmicks, about the gimmicks, that they display on the oppressed. The oppressed should not be falling for this anymore. That they move from one party to the other should not be getting us, because they do the same thing that they do all over again. So it's the same thing they do all over again. When this particular president was a governor of Lagos, I can remember this is one of the ways that I knew that this guy does not mean well for anybody. He's never meant well for anybody. I could remember that he turned people. It was the advent of Okadas in Lagos. T-Pain administration, if you are in Lagos, you can make boast of it. It became a trendable job to be an Okada driver. This guy made poverty common.
People used to go around with taxis. Because they can afford to actually take a taxi at the time. It was not Okada. A motor taxi was normal as at the time. But during his administration, he actually introduced. I think there was a time. Tricycle has also been in vogue. I think Marua also introduced tricycle, but that is even more. It's even made more sense because that has to do with a collective. At least you have to have like 4 or 5 inside the Marua. But the whole idea of Okada was a different ballgame entirely under the leadership of Tinubu in Lagos.
It turned people into touts. That's my point. The job in itself, we can argue whether transport business in itself is dignifying or not. We can argue that later. And even if we want to do transport business, it's not in the concept of this, of how we did it. He made Okada driving normal.
I'm looking at the economic interpretation of the whole advent of Okada, because before people can actually afford to take a taxi. They can really take a taxi from point A to point B, but it got so bad that they have to invent Okada so that people can really navigate places at a far affordable rate, because the economy was becoming tougher for them to afford taxis. I think that was where I was looking at it from. But you have a point. Yeah,
in your own point too. We can discuss some of these things. We can break it down, because if you understand around that time, the NURT business or the taxi business was majorly controlled by the retirees. Around that time, it was majorly controlled by within the scope of aged people who just wanted to. In some cases, some of them do not even need the money. They just still needed to engage because they are still active. But they have told them that they are too old for service. That's why they are at home. Even though Buhari was not too old for service to rule us again the second time. Even from coma, even from his bed seat, from his just like this current one, he's not too old to rule us. He's not too old. But when it comes to service, they tell our people that they are too old. Just like Egbetokun, retired people for age. But Gayu, go and sleep. He says no, it's not time yet. So if the larger percentage of people within the NURTW were largely retirees that were driving taxis, but there were each problem around that time. The problem was that they were shifting from adult or age people population to a youthful population. So there were large number of youths within the market, and there was no provision to engage them. That's where I'm going. There was nothing engaging them even after finishing tertiary universities. So in order to distract them, they sold the idea that Okada driving is a pathway to having financial freedom, and people became Okada drivers that you can hardly see an household and not see an Okada driver in that household. That is how trending it became. It became so trendy that they had to do a movie. Bayowa Films had to do a movie called Egbe Olokada. If you remember.
Yeah. The
It was this
VHS.
administration of this guy
video
that
cassette.
What do you say?
I said during the time of VHS, video cassette.
Exactly. It was during this administrator, this idiot as the president, it was during his time that he made intelligent minds, people who are supposed to be the think tank for the progress that we are supposed to be experiencing now. He made them loud. He undignified them, even with being a graduate. And you don't need to go far. Just go and ask small doctor. Small doctor said he had sold malaria drugs. He has sold rat drugs. He has sold. He was Okada driver, even as a NG holder in Lagos. Oshodi. I'm using small doctor because he's quite popular. The story is out there. It was only the same time. But what am I saying? That this guy is known for creating is known for mass producing numbers in the poverty area. Changing people's trajectory, changing the destiny of individuals and generations. So he's doing it deliberately. He has an antecedent. I was not too young to observe. I wonder why we forget. The oppressed should not be forgetting. This was our reality. It was this time that majority of us became poor. When I mean poor, I mean not able to afford a dollar, to afford me. So he has an antecedent.
Of course. Talking about the antecedents of Tinubu, I would like to pause you right there and bring up the next guest, our very own Mr. Alaba Ferreira. And of course, some of the talking points must have jumped at him, and he would like to say a thing or two. Why we'll take a recess, because two of us have been talking since, So let's allow Comrade Alaba Ferreira to really enlighten us for some of the perspective that we are not really looking at things from, or perhaps point our attention to some other interesting angles to this discussion. We are happy to have you, sir. Let's have your contribution to the topic, country of a particular or a pathetic concern, APC. What's your take from what the topic is saying, or what jumps at you from the topic, sir? Can you hear us? Are you with us, comrade? Kindly unmute your mic, sir. Your mic is muted, sir. Your microphone is muted. It's saying from my side of things that your microphone is not connected. That is what it's saying. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. I got that. So let's return back to the discussion, Comrade Shinwa Ilara. So you were talking about the antecedents of Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, how whatever it is that he's doing now at the federal is like an amplified version of what he did as the governor in Lagos State. And of course, that is what seems to be, of course, I would just like to take a look at the breaking news going on. We are not hearing the rumor of a coalition of Obi Kwankwaso ticket. That is the current rumor making the rounds. If you take taking a look at the timeline, we can see many of our people hosting spaces around that particular development. So, but by and large, I am very curious about the excitement. How our people are very much excited about these, past failed leaders. In our own view, we believe their performance is not quite impressive enough, and that whatever it is they're going to do will be like an amplified version of what they have done at their previous capacities of leadership. So talking about the antecedents of Tinubu, Jagaban himself, what do you have to say? Are you excited about the news, of the coalition, or perhaps the ticket of Obi Kwankwaso or Atiku Obi ticket, whichever it is that people are, the permutations of many of our people across board? What will be your comments on all of these developments in its entirety, Commission?
I think the oppressed needs to get serious and less more pathetic. We need to get serious in our life and less more pathetic. And I think our encouragement that will sponsor some of these things. We need to leave gambling. This idea that we think we are in control when we are not. We need to live with that. We need to give it up. I mean, that Baba did the contract. This gambling. How can a society be this large and be high on gambling? So now the gambling capacity. Then it started from the root of this my club. My club? My club just signed a player yesterday. Just signed. Person wey no get official membership of a club. He has not even been to the club before. They don't know him, you don't know them, you are not in the scheme of things, you don't have a say. You are saying my club, you can see what my club is doing. No, we need to, at least at some point, we need to be less pathetic. I know we are in a difficult situation, but we don't need to complicate matter for ourselves. And to be less pathetic is to tell ourselves the truth, and where we do not have power, that to control the oppressors is not in our will. There's nothing in our will as that. We cannot control them. There is one pathetic one that I saw that came during the election leading to the presidential election of 2023. That was on Free's show, and he will come and argue for T-Pain. He will come and argue for T-Pain, only for T-Pain to go to America to do a press conference or a town hall meeting, and then he was whispering, say this to them, say this to them, and I was like, this guy is so pathetic. So you cannot even share your thoughts and your plan with your so-called principal, meaning they don't dialogue with you. But yet you come and sell the idea that you are in control. You can imagine the self-acclaimed chief mobilizer for Obedience that resigned, only to tell us that in his 4 years of acclaimed or 2 years of acclaimed responsibility, he never had a direct contact with their so-called principal. No, we need to be less pathetic. We need to complicate issue less with ourselves. We don't need to complicate it more. We need to tell ourselves the truth. There is this no idea of claiming or owning the actions of our oppressors. If somebody go and act without consulting me, if you come and ask me, I'm not going to defend his action. I don't defend human being adult actions. I will go and tell you to go and ask him. He didn't consult me now. He took an action without consulting me. Why should I be defending him? You are too much defendant of your oppressors that are not consulting you. Every move they move shows that they are leaving you confused the more. When was the day they told us that he has joined ADC? Now they are now confused again to know where it belongs and where it does not belong. No, get out of such network because it only makes you more miserable. The oppressed needs to be less miserable. We need to complicate things less for ourselves. We need to be able to control ourselves. We need to respect ourselves to control ourselves. If you cannot control the principal you call principal, leave him and go to a place where your voice will be heard, that you will not be acting again. You know, like Elemikemi, that you will not be acting, you know, on today, off tomorrow, on to like, and it's instability. It does not show that there's a serious person behind that cause. That I come today and I say this, I come tomorrow, I say something else. My people are not trained that way. African people are not trained that way. They say that if it's about that a place where we have greeted or parted ways to say good night, goodbye. We don't say good night again there. We would rather sleep outside. We would rather sleep on the street than to come back again and say good night. That is how respectful we are to our words. It is these charlatans that you are following that have deprived us of dignity of words. So the word that you do say gay, where does it belong? People are rejoicing for actions that they never were consulted. And we are telling them, come and join an organization where you will not just be consulted, you will be part of the brain box of the people who will create the solution, who will create the solution together. Let's create a democratized, people-centric solution. If it doesn't matter, gambling in London. Now the place where they go gamble, Manchester to beat Real Madrid. Then when Real Madrid now deliver for their masters, they will not be coming out. You can see how they are playing. They are first hard. They don't play well. They got my ticket. Stay in your lane. Stay where you have capacity to determine your outcome of your life. Leave all these things, all the beliefs. You know, the religion to, spread this. In fact, one of the things that spread scam and gambling in this country, and I have historical analysis behind this. One of the things that makes scam normal is religion. It's Abrahamic religion. Because is it not what you do? Today na Sunday now. They don't give them another scam alert. This week shall be your week. 10,000 people will say amen. Then the next week, maybe one person come and share one his own testimony like the Lord shows it. While I was sleeping, I saw a lion lifting me to the third heavens. And he says, I am lion. Who are you? I said, I am Joseph. You will know that testimony is backed by poverty. It is somebody that needs to bed. Who are you? I am Joseph.
There's even sleep inside AC now. Now you can't sleep. Go down the drive, dream say lion the posture.
You know now, you know when you are battling with malaria.
Orthopedic bed. Water
You know when you
bed.
are battling with malaria, you know that you are probably in a state that is not yours fully. So you will be in between life and consciousness and unconsciousness occasionally. And it is that time that you will be having one useless, experience of traveling outside the body. So, but back to the point. The point is that we must be less pathetic. We can't continue. This behavior of seeking for sky daddy we have to control. Sky daddy that somebody has to tell you, third party have to report what sky daddy told you. Is that not scam? These are the things that better gambling. That we have gotten to the point where we place, because gambling is putting your life in someone's hand. That's gambling. Putting the fate of one's outcome in another person's hand. No. We need to stop that childishness. If you are a child, I would understand. And it's not even bad for a child, it's trust. It is that it trusts the system of family institution. On a normal day, it should be more than family institution. The community should also parent, that it takes a whole nation, a whole community to build a child, to train a child. But that's not the case anymore. You leave your child to community. If they will not rape that child, motherfuckers are talking about child marriage. This APC, this all for nothing unprogressive Congress are discussing how to sponsor child marriages. So meaning that if you leave your child to these idiots, you are in soup. So we need to start taking our destiny. It's obvious with every action of Peter Obi that he does not represent the people. Now the people, they go clean to am. The guy, they do wetin fit for his political destiny. All in permutation and his move is for his own progress. That's why he kept leaving the people in the state of confusion. That madness, let him not drag you in it. He's already there. He said it himself, that he takes advice from unstable minds. Let him not drag you in it, except if you are not different from him. And it's not every mad stage that starts from nakedness. So I hope people know that madness at the earlier stage is not that you would be naked. Is that doing things like this, putting one's destiny in something that does not care about you, that is out telling you that is not of your interest. This person has sold the idea in every possible way that the Nigerians should get it, that it does not represent them. He has told you. What are you still hanging with? But now stop with the Stockholm syndrome. There is actual event of Stockholm syndrome that happened in Stockholm, in Sydney, of a criminal who held some bank workers to hostages. And it lasted for hours, if not days, in Sydney in 1973. That at the end of the day, the criminal started making excuses on his behalf to why he did what he did. That they started saying, and he's a good person, And if you study Stockholm syndrome, it's actually a syndrome. It's a syndrome naturally developed by the oppressed for survival. For instance, if you are in a hard environment, if you are if you are working with a very difficult boss, which characterizes the whole of Nigeria anyway, that these idiots that people work for are idiots, complete idiots. They lack humanity and dignity. They don't treat you with respect. So if you work with those idiots, you will need to carry hand back. That is why a police officer under this administration, this still under this administration was carrying bags for elected officer, was reduced to carrying food. We have seen the case of a police officer reduced to carrying food. A police officer reduced to carrying food, carrying bags, opening cards for fraudulent people, both in the one in offices and the one out of offices, right? So out of public office. But this is where I'm going, that in order to find survivor, when you deal with such people, you need to find their favor. And it is in the idea of finding the favor that you begin to at least begin to force yourself to look, to humanize them, so that you can favor them, so that you can treat them with respect, so that you can tell you for your own survival. That's why you are doing this, so that you can treat your unruly boss, so that you can treat him with respect that he does not deserve. But over time, what they have now discovered is that people start believing the lies they sold themselves for just survival at first. They start thinking that the person is now good. Even though they started doing those things, just like the first time you started carrying bags, if you carry bags, if you are the one who still carry bags and you are listening to me, to your boss, it's wrong to carry bags. Why were you employed? Were you employed to carry bags? It speaks less of your dignity. That's what I'm going to. It speaks less of your dignity. You were employed for your skill or your manpower or your time. None of that agreement contains to carry bag, but you are carrying bag because you know that you can be sacked at any point in time. So for you to appeal to the idiot and appeal to the idiot, you have to go beyond normal to do what we call eye service and carry bags. I say, you want to buy amala? I can go now.
Interesting. Let me pause a little bit there so that you can take a breather. You have said quite a great deal of so many things, and we need to unpack it step by step, one by one. You have mentioned the issue of carrying of bag, and of course, you can see how it might mean in a very figurative or idiomatic way, but we can see the carrying of bag from our unions. And it is very, very concerning. And let's play some of the sound for the sake of our new listeners. Let's continue the sound bite that we are hearing from P.O. Abioje, a university lecturer in University of Ilorin. As we take a breather, let's listen to what this great intellectual have to say to expose us to the real, rot within the unions. And of course, that union is one of the union issue in Nigeria is a carrying bag situation. It seems as though our unions are in bed with the system. Let's take a listen.
How to respond to the issues or crises arising with the employer. In the case of ASU, you have the local employers, the universities administrators, and the government that owns the university. So it's not more than that. Constitutional.
I don't know. Is it audible to you, sir? Commission Wailer.
Workers in a place.
Is audible?
As loud as not as loud as I would want.
By the universities, administrators, and
this is the loudest. Yeah, I got it.
Some instances.
Okay. I would make you.
I will summarize. I'll be pausing intermittently to summarize here.
Deputy.
All right.
Vice chancellors of administration, of academic, whatever, have been ASU leaders themselves. And so part and parcel of the corruption of ASU leadership. And then government. Because exploitation of ASU members by ASU leadership is not possible without the collaboration of the employers. local and national.
You heard that? He said the exploitation of ASU members cannot be possible without the collaboration between the external and internal, enablers. I think that's what he said. So let's keep listening.
The administrators, the university administrators, and government. So anyway, that is the unprecedented, unrivaled, and unsurpassed exploitation of a workers' union by the leadership throughout the world. We don't know of any other workers' union charging membership fee by salary percentage. It's so scandalous. So scandalous. Not only very exploitative or extremely exploitative, but very scandalous. In the second instance, as if that were not enough. So that's started in 2012. In 2013, another thing set in. 2013 was the year the government was expected to implement the 2009 agreement, bordering on the welfare of ASU members and the university's workers, academic and non-academic, and increment of salary coinciding with the agreement, due for implementation in 2013. And that was the very year ASU leadership started taking a bribe from government and calling it the end academic allowance of.
Did you get that?
Members. A bribe, not the end academic.
He said ASU leadership have started taking bribes from the government. Okay.
Academic allowances of the workers, but a bribe called end academic allowance of ASU members. Without calculating the end allowances of the workers. Although called end academic allowance, it is shared with the non-academic unions, which leaders also accept to mellow on the implementation of the 2009 agreement. Because from the bribe, the leaders of the academic and non-academic unions, together with their cronies, become automatic multimillionaire. And so the leaderships or the leaders of the unions, academic and non-academic workers unions, have been playing on the intelligence of common workers and the Nigerian public to shortchange the workers, academic and non-academic. Because henceforth, not only that the welfare packages and the increment of salaries included in the 2009 agreement are not implemented, but henceforth the workers will no longer get their legitimately earned allowances, with the leaderships having taken a bribe and calling it the workers' earned allowances. it's not easy to bury the truth. And so the bribe is always called earned academic allowance, but shared with the non-academic unions. A clear indication that is not earned academic allowance or earned allowances of any worker, but a bribe, fraudulently called earned academic allowance. So, for ASU members, the union's leaders are pledging both the salaries and the allowances of the workers.
Interesting.
For the non-academic,
I hope you are getting the gist, Commissioner Ilara. And of course, you see how the association, the unions, are basically taking advantage of their of their members. They are in bed with the system, enjoying some of the goodies that the system throws at them, just to mellow down, number one, or to betray their people, their members, the members of the union. And bear in mind, the members of the union are also paying dues that was supposed to be met, to make the administration of the union basically represent them. The dues was meant for the administrators of the union to really represent them, but yet they still take bribe from the system, from a rotten system, to betray their comrades, their members. This is a case of a union betraying its own members, orchestrated by the system. Let's keep listening while we wait for Commission to weigh in on this.
Their own is limited to the leadership sharing in the bribe to be distributed lopsidedly to members, academic and non-academic members.
A pathetic
and the
country.
Leaders take what they want from the billions of naira of the bribe called earned academic allowance. A collusion, product of a collusion and conspiracy between ASU leadership and government.
A collusion between ASU leadership and the rotten government of the day, under the leadership of a pathetic Congress of a particular concerned nation, under the administration of this pathetic party called APC. They connive with the leadership of unions, because these are people that should constitute the non-partisan opposition. They should be the one that should be firing the government left, right, and center. But you see that can everybody now see the reason why there is a deafening silence from those that should really call out the anyhowness of the government of the day? And bear in mind, this same issue is the same reality with even the CSOs, the civil society organizations. They are all in bed with the rotten establishment. Please go ahead. Please proceed, Commissioner Ilara. You are still muted, Commissioner.
Okay, can you hear me now, Comrade?
Yes.
Yeah, so to start with, this is not also new. You cannot be in this country and know that I've studied the activism or unionism and see the trajectory of unionism denigrate to the level that it is now, and be surprised by what we are experiencing. In fact, there is a debt of unionism in this country, and that death is before late 90s of activism and unionism. Was what is the job of workers really? And this death started from when the system understand that it could just provide what it could do. It does not necessarily need to physically. They combated unionism. There were a lot of people who lost their jobs for participating in one way, in strike one way or the other. So they reduced people from a grade, talking about moving up from their grade to the next grade because they participated in protest. Parents were conditioned to produce their voting slip compulsorily. If your parents ever worked in the ministry, parents were, as a requirement to whether they still have their job or not, they submit their voting slips. So activism was killed intentionally by this system. Only that this administration came to bury it.
Say that again, my brother. Activism was killed
deliberately, even
deliberately by this government.
Even prior to this government, by the
projection,
Padi, Wayo, arrange things. Now Padi government, Padi government.
Padi put them together, army, arrangements. Have you heard about fella TikTok?
Now so you get that. But this administration, this a pathetic concern,
Congress.
a pathetic Congress party came to bury. They came to do the funeral arrangement of activism and anything called unionism. And that is the barrier, speaks to the fact that a capitalist can run under an umbrella that was designed to protect the workers' interests, called Labour Party originally. And people still marched behind him and voted for him. That's the burial ground. Because ideologically, the workers have lost touch, in tune with the revolutionary role they have to play. Because the workers are the backbone of every and any society. We bank on the workers. Wọ́n ní ìlú tó ń tòrò, ọmọ alébẹ̀ ni ó ti dàgbà. But ìlú tó ń tòrò, but this is not where I'm going. I just completed that. What I'm going is that, behind the masquerade, for the masquerade to keep producing the sounds that it does, to project the noise that it makes, it is a person behind it. So who are the people that we consider to be available to do the work of building a nation, if not the workers? It is the workers. The workers are the backbone of any nation that is progressive. If we take out the workers, you have taken out every voices, every other voices. You have taken it out. So the war in itself that we lost, just like they are saying, who is speaking for the students right now? Is it the house that has already been compromised that will speak for the students? That is why there was no singular protest conducted by the ASU when school fees were increased in an astronomical way, in a way that is beyond geometry, in a way that is not 1 + 1. It's not progressive, even though they claim they are progressive, but they kept increasing things in an unprogressive manner. in a manner that dabaru everything. How can school fees from 70,000 become 200,000, 500,000? That's just school fees. How can rent in the space of 2 years of his administration? How can rent increase from 700,000 to 2 million to 3 million? Is that not madness? So, but this is where I'm going. That the death of workers is in the alienation of workers from the society. What they did was for workers to begin to think and believe that they are apart from their society. Just the same way they dealt with some of our brothers in the soldiers, in the institution of army, in the institution of police, by creating a centralized concentration camp for them. That's not even open yet. That's a barricaded concentration camp for them. You know, when you want to groom a dog to be very offensive, that's what you do. You cage that dog in such a way that you distance the dog away from people. So what they did with the army barracks and the police barracks is similar to this, psychological. But what they now did, because they could not house even though that housing that they created is not fit to even house animals. But what they now did with the vast majority of workers is to create division mentally between them and the vast majority of the people. The workers became interested in only things that affect them. That is why the best they have even during the useless idiot that you called his name earlier, that deceived the naive with khaki that he has dropped. It was all protests about money, nothing about structural development, nothing about human development, nothing about making adequate investment in the people. It was about, every time they come out, it was about money. It's either about salary or increment in products or produce.
You are referring to Adam Oshiomhole, right? Let's mention names. Let's mention names. Adam Oshiomhole, a very pathetic former union leader.
I do not need to give him such relevance.
Our viewers need to know exactly who we are referring to for clarity.
The idiotic Oshiomhole that you have mentioned, idiotic, we must be putting their acronym. They end it. Let's give it to them. They are idiotic. These are idiots. These are motherfucker mad people. They end it. So if I have to mention his name, I have to put his preface there, because that preface is as important, if not more important, than his real name. He earned it. He deserves it. They can change it. I didn't put it there. If a man is stupid, I will call him stupid. He can change it by retracing their steps. Maybe it's too late for them, maybe not. But they can start rewriting their own story. Amika Kaba said that there is room for them to make class suicide. Maybe he can start today. Maybe if we start today and then his children continue it, like the Rockefeller's family continued it, even though it was a casual way of misleading the populace of Americans. But in the third generation, one of the things they said they will use as a yardstick is if the Americans had forgiven their family, is whether they will vote their brothers, the third Rockefeller, to office. Right? Maybe we can forgive them in their fourth generation, because we will go by the fact that our Besori, Babalara Omo, Latin Ronkini, De Ronkefa, or De Ronkejogon, or never. That will collect the pound of flesh of the misery that has been caused by this idiot on their children's children up to the 8th generation if possible. We have to do that. We have to show seriousness that the lives they have wasted. Do you imagine the lives that these idiots have wasted? Every time there is delay in school resumption, there is infrastructural deficit in our educational system. Do you know the lives that have been wasted? That by the virtue of the location you are born, your destiny is already predetermined, and it's not anything, quite enticing, to say the least. That we are already cut out of some discussions. I usually would say this in our X spaces that I'm very good at playing games, video games. I think I would have made a FIFA A-list player. Even now, I think I would have. But the reason why I could not earn money that soft way, in that manner of soft way, many people will say it's a soft way. The reason why I could not make money is because there is no infrastructure. Basic internet, nothing. Where will you stream? You will stream. You want to play FIFA World Cup, it's the epileptic internet that I grew under, 3 KB per second. The first time I downloaded 3 MB, I had to spend almost 12 hours in a cyber cafe. is that the place where you were? So it should not be as, life should not be as difficult as we have it today. We are already cut out from some opportunities in the global scheme of things. We are already cut out. So these people should be punished. But back to the point that the real betrayal of workers that this system have sponsored is not necessarily that they do not protest, is that they have lost touch with their generational role, the role their previous generation played, the role like Pa or Modu played. If you are a worker and you don't know the risk, the role that the steel engineers played, then you need to study towards our independence. I'm saying in quote because it was hijacked. It was hijacked by some players, just like NSAS happened. Who did you give your vote to in 2023? Another political player in the form of your oppressors. NSAS happened. We became Sorosoke generation, no grief for anybody. But guess what happened 3 years after? Suddenly you became obedient. What a name to have. You became obedient. I've said it, that name is enough reason for not joining any movement. How can you Sorosoke? Where Sorosoke where? You know the acronym now. Can you speak up? Speak to your oppressor. We acted with defiance against all odds. We marched on the streets. Against the threat of the state, we stepped out. Against the bullets, we stepped out. But it got to the ballot box. You became obedient. That is not betrayal. Out of madness, I don't know what it is. That name alone is enough reason for me not to join obedience. How can I be obedient? In whose interest am I obedient to? But that is not where I'm going. That workers' betrayal in this country is a betrayal of class. That they suddenly think because they now have proximity to their masters, that because they now wear their alokus, their bend down select used materials, that they suddenly now feel that they belong to the class because they can now afford used Benz cars. They suddenly believe that they are big man because they are suddenly have been put into the scheme of being paid 100,000 to be silenced forever. They suddenly think that they belong to that class. That is the crime. The crime government that the workers in this land are committing. is class betrayal. And kò sí ìdáríjì fún awo tó dalẹ̀ o.
Tó bá dalẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Kò sí ìdáríjì fún awo tó dalẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Kò sí ìdáríjì fún awo tó dalẹ̀.
Wọ́n sọ
Kò
pé
sí ìdáríjì fún awo tó dalẹ̀. Àyàfi kókó.
Wọ́n ní iṣẹ́ ní pẹ̀rú èpè ní poli ilẹ̀ dídà pọ̀ rẹ̀. At least, I don't know how. Can you help me interpret that? Can you help me out?
Èèyàn tó bá kọ̀wé níwájú àná, òun náà lọ nílé àná ẹ̀ ló máa túmọ̀ ẹ̀.
You know, there is a very strong way of illustrating what constitutes the repercussion of betrayal. And of course, my ancestors have a way of describing it such that, they refer to the fact that labor usually kills the slave. Causes usually kills some people that are guilty of an offense. And betrayal kills the friend that betrays his friend. So, yeah, it is what it is in Nigeria. The level of betrayal in Nigeria is unprecedented. And of course, we have the pleasure of having Comrade OIA join us in this live broadcast. He's very much in the studio with us. And of course, let's take an interlude while we pass the mic to Comrade OIA. Let's take an interlude from the great professor himself, Kiyo Abioye.
Doubled himself as Nigeria's petroleum minister. And recovering looted funds.
Just 2 minutes, we'll be back.
Accounting for anything. And the outcome was worsening mass abject poverty, fueling criminalities, in mushrooming and bandits. Unfortunately, he got re-elected through an election that cannot be called free and fair. And so, got 2 terms despite misrule. And coming to power, Bola Ahmed Tinubu promised to toe the lines of the retrogrades, Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, who imposed a jihadist war on the nation. Goodluck Ebele Azikiwe Jonathan, who perpetrated it for 4 brutal years. Providentially, Goodluck Ebele Azikiwe Jonathan is still around. He and those eulogizing him should come out and tell Nigerians what did Goodluck Ebele Azikiwe Jonathan achieve in his 4 years of presidency, 2011 to 2015. What they are crediting him with is that he handed over power rather than insisting on perpetuating himself in power. Why would he not hand over power when clearly Nigerians rejected him at the polls? We are not talking of rigged election in 2015, because the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission was Professor Atahiru Jega, a no-nonsense man who is known for uprightness, and was appointed by Goodluck Ebele Azikiwe Jonathan himself, which he did to calm Nigerians when they were agitating that Goodluck Jonathan should implement the recommendations of the Electoral Reform Committee of Justice Mohammed Uwais, now of blessed memory.
Yeah, we're going to pause there. I will pass the mic to the great revolutionary, an inspiration to some of us, Comrade Oahe. I believe, Comrade Oahe, you are connected with us. Are you there? Greetings to you and salutations. How are you doing? How is your side of things? And of course, what part of the discourse, jumps at you, and on what angle do you want us to view this discussion from? Let's have your take, Comrade.
Comrade Fresh, Liberation Chat.
Salutations.
Thanks for having me.
Well done, sir.
And I see also the Comrade Ancestor, Sean Ailara, in the building. Good to see him again. You know why I'm laughing, That's a very, very great guy, a very good brother in the struggle. And if we don't make friends like Ailara in the struggle, what then are we doing in the struggle? Friends that you recognize them as the ancestral being among us, their role in the society, and oh, great to be here. To be honest, I've been trying to see if I could, even view the topic. I've been on the screen trying to navigate to see if I could view the topic, but just from
the topic is country of a pathetic concern. That is the topic. Country of a pathetic concern, APC. That's our topic for today, sir.
Hey, country of a pathetic concern. It's what a topic. I was saying to someone today that I kind of understand why our constitution did not include allowing our leaders to use also our traditional oaths during their swearing in, when they're coming to power, maybe governor, senator, president, whatever role they want to come and serve in the government. I said, I can't look and say, why be say, even though the constitution recognizes we get 3 religions, at least they taught us that in school. But there's a reason they come out the traditional parts and they can't give us only Bible and Quran, so they use traditional oaths. I mean, they refuse them from using traditional oaths during their swearing in. Now only Quran and Bible that they allow, despite the constitution accepting all forms of religion. So you take your time and look into the story of a man like Yaya Bello. Imagine if Yaya Bello don't swear in with Ayilara. Say if him steal from Nigerians as him be governor of Kogi State, then make him die. Just imagine. So if that was the case, we probably won't have this topic today. Because all of them most of them don't die. Yeah, and they don't learn their lesson not to steal. So they know, Interesting. The issue with Nigeria is indeed pathetic. Is indeed pathetic, brothers. And if I want to take you from where Comrade Shewailara has been, the few I've listened to in the last couple of minutes I joined, just about 10 minutes ago that I joined, I dropped again, then came back again. I think I have issue with the streaming. Once I leave this page, I don't get, once I receive a call now, I'm off this page. I'll have to find a way to come in again. So it's not as if I stay on the page, and that's quite something. Maybe I will have to log in or sign up before I can access freely. But if I'm to take it from what Comrade Sean has said, or the few things I heard him say, especially referring to workers and the workforces. The last time I was on this space, I made mention of something that what is missing in the Nigerian space today is the lack of solidarity. The lack of solidarity is dead. I mean, solidarity does not exist, is what I mean here. Solidarity no longer exists. And the reason why solidarity does not exist is, fear of the unknown. Fear of the unknown is the reason why it does not exist. And that is why even the labor union today, they are not functioning anymore. They don't get power anymore. You will hear labor unions say they want to come out to protest against something today. Tomorrow, they are back in their offices. This is even the worst set of labor union we've ever had in ages. This current one is the worst. This one not even pull any stunts. Would you blame him? A labor union that they beat black and blue. No comrade to protect him. They were able to beat him that much. A labor union leader. Well, this is to ask, how did he himself get to power, get to that position as a labor union leader? Now person way in way no straight. Now that they do like that. If your way is straight, where your honor as a comrade, real true comrade, you supposed to know how you want to stand. I'm not sure say anybody where they clear-headed will be true comrade go fit attain any position for this current government where we did today for Nigeria. I'm not sure. In the sense that if you be true comrade, they don't feel even allow you enter become labor union this thing. Like you now comrade fresh or comrade Aguila, make you just join labor union, make you contest and make you get the popularity, get everything where they required to qualify as the labor union, chairperson or president, if they would call it that. You cannot attain that position under this Tinubu's led regime. That's why you look at the NANS is of blessed memory, the National Association of Nigerian Students. You look at NANS today, the faces representing NANS are people in their 50s, maybe 40s. Those days, they are young, vibrant Nigerian students that were representing those bringing value to the society, not dinosaurs, not people with dinosaurial brains, or people that does not even understand the essence of education in the first place. So, what is missing in our society is solidarity. This solidarity comes from the place of fear. And this whole thing is able to function in our society this much today because there are no longer values. But where does value comes from organically? If you look at it, real value into a society comes from the place of education. Who brings about this value? The young, vibrant Nigerians are meant to bring about this value into the society. Where are they today? What values are they bringing to the society today? They go to school, indoctrination, not education. They are not educated. Everybody is looking for a shortcut everywhere, anywhere there's shortcuts. Even the president, now shortcut he used to enter power. He's got the money, he's got the thugs. Shortcuts. He's not ready. Oh, I say come out, test your popularity, Tinubu. Come and test your popularity. Make it free and fair. Look at the case of Uganda. Prior to the election, Museveni met Bobby Wine and said, you know what? I know you are popular. I know you've got what it takes. But you know what? Just wait. Let me do one more time. After how many years? Let me do one more time. Bobby Wine was 3 years old when Museveni came to power. Make we begin to break and down from there. This same thing goes on in Nigeria. So it's not about Museveni alone and Bobby Wine. The only difference between these people and Nigeria is that for Nigeria, they change the book cover, but the book remains constant. That is why it becomes worse and worse and worse. The former president is better than the later president. You never understand? Look the history of Nigeria. Why not be saying I swear, they swear, give us? Why is it that the former president is better than the later president? Because it is the same book, different cover. So that same book, the next chapter, we never even know. You see, this chapter where we see, where APC they display now. The next chapter go worse. If you like, come out the APC, bring in another PDP, or you not bring PDP, you can't bring which one that they make noise of again. We no popular, we think saying popular. What's the name? I can't remember the name.
ADC.
ADC. It's good I don't remember those kind of. How can I? They think they are popular. AD what? Filled up with political prostitutes. Is that the people that want to make a difference in our nation? We're not making it up. We know them. Is it the likes of Atiku that has been contesting in elections since 1991, 92? He contested as a governor. This Atiku, he contested as a governor, and he's still contesting till now. Are there nobody else from Adamawa? Are there no Nigerians that can do it better? Who else do you want to point out to? Is it the people that they claim that they were the one that built the APC that has destroyed Nigeria today? They now went ahead because they are at loggerheads with the person in power. They now went ahead. How then do we even not? How can we even doubt that maybe it is even that person that sent them on an errand? Because when we talk about this thing where they look, politics. They are not interested in governance. They are only interested in politics. He's a political guru, not a governance guru. So you look at the case of Museveni, same thing everywhere. Why would you shut down the internet? He said to let peace reign. They called his minister. That one said now one ship collapse. We can't break the internet, the fiber cable where they bring internet enter Uganda. Say one ship capsize. It can't land on top the fiber cable. The cable can't break. You can imagine.
Big lie.
God. See African realness. He said the cable can't break. Now why they no get internet again? He said, but they go fix me, they no worry. He called it and say, hey, but why they bother? Say she not be the person where bring the internet come Uganda. She not be into the contest. Say why make people go support them now? Why did you remove the internet? Before we know, they don't even attack Bobby Wine for in house. These people can, if they really want to test their popularity, they should come out no rigging, not fair game. Come and play fair game. But we know that these people have no conscience. And when you see people that have no conscience, the only thing is you want to give them the benefit of the doubt. So me as a revolutionary, there are steps to all of these things. So that, see, Nature will justify us. We don't need any other person to justify us. Nature itself will justify us. Essence of planet Earth will justify us. Not what the capitalist has made of it. The essence of planet Earth itself will justify our moves because we get the benefit of the doubt. So we come in peacefully. But of course, we know you have no conscience. But we give you the benefit of the doubt. Say, we are giving you a chance. You know, that's why I said, peaceful movement for us as revolutionary is not part of our philosophy or principle. Neither is it part of our ideology. It's just a certain level of tactics when we want to strike in action. So you give them the room. Say, see, we are coming at peace, not because we cannot be violent, not because we cannot be, but we come in peace. But of course, we know what we're going to meet. Now they don't do their worst. They don't do that for Uganda now. So what's next? It's obvious. Or long due for a revolution. Just like Nigeria is long due for a revolution. Uganda is long due for a revolution. Cameroon is long due for a revolution. Coming back to Nigeria. We are long overdue for a revolution in Nigeria. We can keep going back and forth in this conversation, going back and forth in this matter, people denying these truths, but we are long due for a revolution in Nigeria. No other way to it, no solution to it. And when we talk about this revolution, we mean it has to be backed with an ideology. In fact, there is no revolution without an ideology. There is no revolution without an ideology. Revolution has to be backed with an ideology. We are not coming for a reform. We are coming to change the system. This system currently in Nigeria is rotten. This is a rotten system, and we are here to change this system for good. How do we want to change it? What do we want to use to replace it? That's why we are here. We intend also to do it by the ballots. But of course, we know those we are dealing with. They are draconian in nature. We know them. But if we don't show our people the worst of these people, they will never really understand what we're saying. So we go peaceful, we go to the ballots. It's to show you what they can do to you. But we're even saying, give us the means to justify our action. Give us the avenue to justify our action. Because as of today, brother, I don't look back, look front, look everywhere. The current state of Nigeria itself, make I talk on this way. Nigeria as a country is long due for a revolution. But Nigerians in their mass number are not willing for a revolution. But I don't see how that works. I don't see how that works. Nigeria cannot be ahead of Nigerians. Nigerians must be ready and willing for the revolution. They must be ready and willing. So Nigeria is long due. We all know, because we can see that the system has failed. But the unfortunate thing for Nigerians that are gaslighting this truth is that whether we like it or not, this system will fail. It has failed already. That's why we are all experiencing the brutes. Whether we like it or not, this thing will happen. What we don't want is anarchy. Because the lack of an organized movement is what brings about anarchy. If you are not ready to organize, it brings about anarchy. Because when it happens, anarchy goes. Then another time people will come to tell you, say, was that not a revolution? They will say, was that not a revolution? Like the way our comrade Sean spoke about, the way they spoke about SARS. They come to our spaces on X. They'll tell you that you guys are just talking about revolution. Was SARS not revolution? And we ask, how is SARS a revolution? Did it bring about a change in the system, or was he addressing issues? Because revolution brings about change in a system. Revolution does not address issue. It is protest that addresses issues. And look at it again. Even that NSAS, did it really indeed address the issue? Because it was hijacked. And it was successfully hijacked because we refused to organize. People came out genuinely, no doubt. People came out genuinely, but people did not come out they are not organized in the way and manner they came out. People came out genuinely. They came out with what they feel, with their feelings. They came out instinctively. They came out reactionary. They asked them, they said, there is no leader here. Even when the likes of Sowore came out, he would have taken that mantle and he would not compromise. That would have led to a revolution, because Sowore would never back down or betray the people. But some of them told Sowore, we don't want you. Don't see what they told Sowore. We don't want you. Don't let them come and use you as an excuse to attack us. I want day. Say, go. Don't let them come and use you as an excuse to come and attack us. I'm sorry, I have to call them that. You look at these people. What are you saying, France? What are you saying, people? What meaningful struggle in the world happened without leadership? Name me one meaningful struggle in the world that happened without leadership. Meaningful struggle. Name me one. We don't have leader. How can you say you don't have leader? But you were interested for a Davido to go and speak on. When Davido came out, they were okay with Davido. You know, these people are not ready. I said Nigeria is long due, but Nigerians are not ready. I'm not gonna genuflect around this. Nigeria as a country is long due for a revolution. Nigerians are not ready for what Nigeria is due for. So there's a contradiction, brother. That's why everybody looks confused, because what is like a fruit that is ripe, but nobody to plug it. Confusion. It go bring about confusion. It is ripe. When it is ripe, go and pluck it. But what happens if they don't pluck it? You know, eventually the fruit would fall itself. When the fruit falls, what happens to the fruit? It scatters, peel all over. It's not useful it's no longer edible to consume. You cannot eat it anymore because that's peeled to the floor, ground. You cannot sell it as goods or edible produce anymore. It's no longer useful practically to you, maybe except for the birds. This brings about a nation that is ripe, long due for a revolution that is awaiting the manifestation of the people that make up that country to come and pluck it and make that revolution happen. But they left it there. It will overripe, overdue. What's going to happen? It will come fall. When it fall, now that anarchy where they talk be that. And it's gonna happen. Let's not even doubt this one. It's gonna happen. Tinubu cannot. It can. You see, go every country in the world. It's going to happen. It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. It may take time. I know the doubter. It may take time, but in fact, you know, unlike all this Cameroon and Uganda that lasted this long, in the case of Tinubu, it's not gonna work that way. It's not gonna work that way. In the case of Tinubu, it's not gonna work that way. It's gonna fail. Why? Because we are even more extremely polarized. There is high level of hatred, enmity against one another. That in itself now it go trigger the riposte. You go trigger that pushback. Even if one line, one lineage, one ethnic or tribal group agree, the other will not agree, and it will continue like that till thy kingdom come. How many there be for Uganda? The only thing that is happening in Uganda is they are not ready, really ready for the revolution.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If they,
I thought as much so that by now the streets of Uganda should be filled to the brim.
They are not ready.
Sending a strong signal to the dictator himself, the devil, the Ugandan devil himself.
Bobby Wine does not have that charisma. I'm telling Bobby Wine does not have the charisma to lead a strong revolution like the days of Obote. He does not. I mean, look at Bobby Wine. And he has paid a long price, no doubt about that. But look at Bobby Wine. Is Bobby Wine ready, genuinely, to lead a revolution? But when you meet Bobby Wine and question him one-on-one, you look at what he stands for. You look at what he has actually been, and you can't blame him. He was a musician. You cannot really blame him. He was a musician. He was a musician that was not ideologically inclined for a long time until he felt the pain of his people. But pain alone is not enough. You must be conscientized well enough. Feeling the pain, being a good person that felt the pain of your people, and you think you want to make any meaningful difference, is not enough to bring down the political hegemony of a nation that has held it captive for long.
Not seen, but I'm still around.
You understand?
I have some knowledge.
I do. Let me try to see if I can wrap it up. Host, look at our music industry. What did you say?
Yeah, you can continue. There's no time cap. Please proceed.
Look at our music industry. Look at our music industry, host. The Nigerian music industry. And this is how you will know that. You see, when we talk about the people, that the people we mean are peasants. Peasants alongside the rich class, but the peasants are the real people, because it is the peasants that represent or reflect the true value of a nation. It is the youth, the peasants, the unknown that represent the worth of a nation. You go to any country, look at the poorest of the poorest in that country, how he's being treated, how he appears, that makes him the poorest, is how you come to know what value exists in that country. I'm not saying that you have people that became poor because of their corruption or their criminal act. You are just you, but you are just poor. You are working, but you are poor. You are engaged, but you are still poor. Look at that. When you look at the music industry, what happened to our music industry? The street won in our music industry. We know that. I'm going to try and break it down to the best of my knowledge. We know the street won. Once upon a time, of course, it was the street all along. The music industry in Nigeria has been from the street all along, even from the days of Sunny Ade, from the days of Okosu, from the days of only God knows, all the top people. They all came from the streets. They made wave. But they didn't make this much wave because they were fought back by the global world order. Many were pleased with their songs, but it didn't go that far well enough. Because not be just like maybe magical, where we say our music now. Everybody call they talk about Afro. In fact, they won't call categorize everything into, they call it an Afro beat. They call add S, say, oh, Afro beats category, as if there's anything like Afro beats. Is there anything like Afro beats? We will be African proud now. Is there anything like Afro beats? But you see the likes of Davido, the likes of Burna Boy, all these guys, they accepted him because they want to also win Grammy.
They even call themselves Young Fela. They are calling themselves young fella, funny people.
They cannot be anything else apart from fella is what they are using to compete. A dead man. You look so now person who don't die, they need to compete your life. So what the hell is Afrobeat? They made this something, they made this for you people, and you people agreed that, oh, African music is Afrobeats. They can't add S. As if we don't know the origin of Afrobeats. As if we don't know that there is high life. As if we don't know that there is Akpala. As if we don't know that there is Makosa. As if we don't know that there is Mapuka. As if we don't know that there is jazz that originated from the slave people of West Africa. People from Syria alone that they shipped to the Caribbeans. That was how jazz came to be. They were enslaved people that brought about jazz music, nothing more, nothing less. Enslaved West African people. Origin of jazz was from enslaved West African people. Mapuka was from the DRC, Cameroon, and all those places. Mapuka, Makosa and Ko, the same thing from Congo.
DC Congo, yes.
High life is from West Africa and Ghana and Nigeria. I didn't get high life pass. Waro. There's another one, Waro. What? And there is Afrobeat. And there is Juju music. There is Juju music. There's Juju. Sashino Peter. Who else again? I brought about Juju. And there's another one, Fuji. There's Fuji. Look at the genre of music that we have in Africa. Beautiful ones, beautiful genres that people sing. If you are just interested in all of this music, you enjoy every flavor that they bring. Somebody now woke up one day and tagged everything to be what? Afrobeats. This is to undermine the beauty in all of these genres that we've got in Africa. Can't generalize that as Afrobeats. Can't add S to RAM. What the hell is Afrobeat? Give me a beat that is Afrobeats. Come and give it. They made something. That beat you are beating, we know where that one belongs to. Because if they tell me to play high life, I know how to play high life. I know how to play Waro. I know how to play Mapuka. I know how to play Makosa. I know when I hear them, I know them. When they play jazz, I know jazz. I know if I hear Fuji sound, I know it's not Fuji sound. If I hear Juju sound, I know it's not Juju sound. What am I saying here? The streets won eventually, but where I want to link this is they eventually also sold out. They betrayed, and these are people that don't understand their source. When all of them wanted to make it, they went back to the streets. The likes of Burna Boy. Who know Burna Boy before? Not when he entered streets for Nigeria. Olamide stood in the streets, sang all the songs in the streets, streets to take over, street to take over, street to take over, street don't take over. All the so-called, professional artists that Kolobi, all the P-Man, P-Man that year. P-Man was the organization that was looking into professional music of Nigeria. P-Man was doing anyhow that time. Royalty they were having issue with royalty. All the times of them, Raskimono, Olisadebe, Odivadiko, all those guys. Now P-Man, they run their matter that year. P-Man, where is P-Man today? Nobody sent P-Man again. You know what you call the shock me pass? Africans, even though I'm not a fan of Edis, I'm not a fan of Edis, really. I'm not a fan of anything capitalistic. But all these artists they beg them, they beg them to come attend Edis. Because of them, they carry Edis to Atlanta to go do Edis. Edis will be Nigeria Music Award. The gas carry and come up. This is how much you know that these people are highly colonized. Streets won in the industry, right?
Colonize me, my father in heaven. Very colonized mind. They could not even have the confidence to keep hosting it in Africa. Yeah, even in Lagos, a cool hotel was not enough for them. They were still not satisfied with the hotel and the clout that gave them. They still had to transport it. In Nigeria Award, they had to transport it back to Atlanta.
Do you understand how bad this is? How bad this? You know that now you have used the streets. The streets you have now won. You now became popular. They now know you. Nobody know you. Burna Boy was in London for how many God knows what. Nobody knew him to be anything. In fact, he was known with his criminal case. That the only way they knew him for criminal case. Naira Marley was in what was it called? UK. Criminal case. All of criminal case. They came to the streets. The street embraced them, gave them the platform. They became popular, now global to the world. Just because they are desperate to win the Grammy, they sold out and embraced Afrobeats. They clamped them Afrobeat. Okay, even when they don't come clamping, they go, okay, open our world everywhere, here and there. But who was the first to even win this award where all of now one can die for today? Who was the first to ever win this award? An African woman, Miriam Makeba. She no sell out before she win this award. Miriam Makeba won it flawlessly. She not even stressed. Even after she win out, she was still in the front line for her people. But look at these ones. Immediately they got recognition. They sold out. They no longer sing for the streets. They no longer want to align themselves with the streets. I get it if you don't want to live in the environment where you were made. Now you sabi that one. But at least you should go back once. You abandoned everywhere you came from. There is nothing you are doing for any. I don't see. Yes, well, all of them they do charity, and people are jubilating. People are jubilating. You kick Percy for stage like that. Let your bouncer do the job. You kick Percy for stage like that. And I don't blame. In fact, maybe they kick people. Maybe when they kick you, where your head go correct. In fact, maybe they kick. Wait till you go jump on top their stage for. Wait till you even they fight for their shows. They tell you say they don't like you. No, but you made them. Whereas yes, you feel saying that you made them. You made them who they are today. But they know they see them again because they don't, for their mind, they don't go global. They can do without you. They get audience out there. But they never had this audience until they came home. And this is where I'm going to. We must all go back to the source. We cannot make any meaningful progress until we go back to the source. African artists all over the world. Ask Mr. Easy. Mr. Easy was unknown in Ghana for many years. He was struggling like a studio rat in Ghana for many years. Nobody recognized him. Nobody even say they sing until Mr. Easy came back home. Until whatever you say me, Maba or Dele, I forgot the guy that sang that song. That guy has been in London only God knows when. Singing, nobody until he sang in his own musical dialect before they recognize his music. Whether you all like it or not, you must go back to the source. Oh, mommy, baby girl. Ìwọ tí mo fẹ́ lọ sí ilé ọkọ. Who know that song? Àdúrà mo gbà fún ẹ. K'Ọlọ́run mi máa ṣọ́ ẹ lọ. Oh, I hate to see you go. Very nice song. That song went viral until the man came to the source. everybody. Or it's Willie Kinko. Not be say they not try abroad. Not be say they not try out there.
Look at your screen. Look at your screen, OIA, and see what your own artists are doing in Nigeria. No.
You see?
Now the thing what they want to do with this to come and showcase to the poor people how they can buy expensive exotic cars. You can
so everybody now want to turn musician.
Look at it. Look at how
everybody want to turn musician.
Our brothers are running after.
Engage any Nigerian youth today. They will say, "I want to become a musician." Nobody wants to be doctors anymore. Nobody wants to be. This is how much they've destroyed the institutions. Nobody wants to be doctors anymore. Nobody wants to be engineers anymore, because what has Nigeria given to them? What are they seeing? They are seeing a Burna Boy suddenly turn artist, and they know say in a gangster for London before. At least I say we hear. We see we hear. Before they go come talk, say I talk, say now wait till we hear. They out there. They say a gangster for.
It's the same thing. Naira Marley has a mock shot now in UK.
So what are these people saying? So everybody just feel like the old gangster shit that was sold in America, they are bringing it back to Nigeria, bringing it back to Africa. See that young guy with the kid for South Africa, I've forgotten his name, that is short artist in one of the top artists in South Africa today.
Lucky Dube.
Not Lucky Dube. You know Lucky Dube story. Not Lucky Dube. This one they just shot him recently.
Okay, recently. Okay, because they
shot him maybe 2 years ago.
Okay.
If I leave this page to go and check it now, it will just they shot the guy 2 years. He's a popular guy. He used to rap. Oh, do you know the story of Lucky Dube?
Yeah,
South African xenophobias. Who I don't know, they just ate Nigerians. That was how they killed Lucky Dube. They thought Lucky Dube. Okay, Lucky Dube went to his uncle's house, went to go and drop his children. That environment, they don't know him there. Like it's like a local environment. It's not so popular. They don't know him there. As he just entered the environment with the car, now so those guys sight him and they shot him. When they investigated, they said they thought he was Nigerian. Now later they change the story. Say no. Let them say it was a robbery gone wrong case. They should not say they thought it was Nigeria. Actually, the first set of story that those people confessed to, or that was out there documented, was that they thought it was Nigerian, and they shot Lucky Dube. This is how much the black hate on black has been sold to us all. It is too much. Having blacks hate on blacks is never gonna make anything. We are never gonna make any progress with this whole black hate on black narrative. You know,
absolutely.
You can hate your brother. You can keep hating. Look at Greenland. Look at Greenland now. On top, when one man say he wants to take over Greenland, you see the way Europe are united. Even Republicans are largely against Trump. Have you seen the percentage of votes against it among Republicans themselves? Now that is, but they were okay for Trump to go and colonize Venezuela. They did not fight it back. That one is okay. That's okay. When Trump, have you forgotten that last year Trump said he was going to take over Canada? He said he was going to make Canada his 52nd country or 54th, or what did he say? I don't even know how many states is there.
51st, yeah.
He said he was going to make Canada his 51st country. That Canada deserves him. What came out of it? Backlash. You see, when it comes to their own, they fight it. Now he's talking about Greenland. Europe has never been this united in a while. They are united against it. How dare you? You know what Republican told him? They said he's never going to. They would they will take him out if he dares to. This is his own warning him.
But the thing is, why can't they have the same solidarity with Venezuela?
Because you see, this is where blacks need to understand that nobody is going to love you other than you must love yourself. Colored people all over the world must understand that nobody else is going to love you except you love yourself first. I must love myself before anybody can even think of loving me. I go see myself like the way I go hate myself. I go come define lover out there. We go need to come love me to love myself. Because the moment anybody see you, all they see is sadness. You're always looking melancholic. Sadness everywhere. Poverty everywhere. Disturbance everywhere. Chaos everywhere. You must love yourself. Black people all over the world. I have said it. That, see, whether we like them or not, that it is until Africa is great before Africans can be safe. And that's the fact. That's the honest truth nobody really wants to hear. Everybody wants to gaslight this truth. You know? Everybody wants to gaslight it. I've said it before that only when the people rise, the individual will rise. This is our idea of individualism over collectivism. Is going to lead us to our doom. It's going to lead us to our downfall. You just want to, and that's what capitalism brings. Capitalism wants you to be fine, but your fellow, your neighbor, you don't care. You know, stand down. If you like me, no fine. You use your talent, make him to go. You see that mentality, make him to go use the talent. But you forgot that you have been privileged. The opportunity when you get, not be the same opportunity that man gets. We all not get share fair opportunity here. So when you make am, you suppose know say you must raise. As you raise, as you don't rise, you must lift others up. Not through charity, but through supporting nation. Look at the endowment program in Harvard. Why do you think Harvard is still booming? The endowment program in Harvard is in millions of dollars every year. Millions of dollars every year. She not even enter billions every year. I think it's in billions. I can't remember. I know they like me. I know they remember this kind of thing. I figure every year. Everybody, every alumni of Harvard, every year they bring money. Yeah, they bring money. Tony Elumelu there among them. Tony Elumelu is there among them. The government school where Tony Elumelu go for Nigeria. Only God knows the condition of that school today. Almost all the political elites in Nigeria of today attended government school because government school was the happening school then, not private schools. So almost all of them attended government school. Me na government school I go. Almost all of them attended government school, and that you see the things. Free education, left, right, and center. Why are they not bringing back to those schools they all went to? At least in some ways. Even me, way small, yeah, where I did here with my small, I did do my own bid for the school where I come out. I took on a section that I was part of in the school, and I'm doing my own bits there. I'm not supposed to go school where they call her Osibanjo, the public school where Osibanjo go now. From his primary to university. You're not supposed to go that school, make that school know the flourish today. You're not supposed to go to school where if Tinubu nobody even know the school where that one go. Someone will come out that one for conversation. The school where $10 go come out from. For this Nigeria, now government school. We know nobody's supposed to go that school, make that school not be big school today. This is what we are talking about. Where are the programs? Where are the investment? Feedback investment? Zero. I want to make progress. I look at Harvard. Everybody, alumni, and a private school be Harvard, alumni. They money every year. They sustain Harvard. And here we are not ready to put or invest in ours. Instead, you go and build your own school that an average Nigerian cannot afford to go to. Whereas Nigeria schooled you. Nigeria gave you that free education. Can we understand what is going on here? They don't dissociate us. These people don't want us to progress. And until the peasant rises up, nobody's going to rise up for you. Until the peasants are willing, the peasants are willing themselves, nobody's going to do it for you. So only when Nigeria is free, Nigerians all over the world will ever be free. Only when Africa is great, Africans will ever be great. Only when people like this South Africa will kill that guy, because of what you thought. Only when you come to the realization that Nigeria is not your enemy. South Africans are not our enemy. And this brings me to the conversation of the real enemy here is those classes over us all. They are the ones that are putting that now then they set us together, set us up against one another. Which brings about the conversation around class struggle. I was in a space and they said, hey, all you guys know is about class this, class that, class this, class that. Nigeria has nothing to do with that. The average Nigeria, that's not the politics of. It's because of your lack of knowledge. That's why you think that Nigerians have nothing to do with class struggle. Nigerians may not understand it, but that's our fundamental issue. Our fundamental issue right now is class struggle. Nobody's supposed to tell you if you did. Go to the House of Assembly. All of them currently are saying they will stand on one man's mandate. This is regardless of their tribe. This is regardless of their religion. This is regardless of their ethnicity. This is regardless of their beliefs. This is regardless of their fundamentals. This is regardless of where they live, read, write, drink, play, whatever. No, the moment they came on that place, what they could see among themselves is they are in the same class and they have a leader called Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is an oligarch way of running a system. That's all they could see. So when you look right, you look left, what else? These people have divided themselves from us. You said Nigeria issue has nothing to do with class. Why do you think the government took their offices far away from you, the people? Come on, Lagos State Government House, if you access. You cannot access. Common National Assembly is difficult to get to. Make we no come talk Aso Rock. Many Nigerians don't die. They don't know where Aso Rock is. They've never been there before. Many Nigerians have been to White House in Washington, D.C. They've gotten as close to the gates. Took pictures. Many Nigerians have even, ordinary Nigerians, have entered White House. Downing Street, the people who colonize us, number 10, Downing Street, that's where the Prime Minister is staying. There's nobody either. You can go, there are houses beside there, Downing Street. People are living there now. Mr. Fresh. Now, street, people, they live beside that street. Everybody, people, they did that environment. Ordinary people,
like
government people,
like ordinary people.
Yes. They far. You can go to number 10 Downing Street and just walk past the place, and anybody can walk. You can just walk past the place.
Also,
they ask you today now.
Aso Rock, a whole battalion now in the guide Aso Rock.
Brother, Do you even know where Aso Rock is? Say can you drive to Aso Rock? Many Nigerians, if we continue this way, many Nigerians no go ever see Aso Rock till they die. Many don't die. They never know where Aso Rock is. They've not been there. They've not. Whereas many countries, they use where their presidential villa they use them, or presidential offices or presidential buildings they use them as an excursion for people to come and see. If you go, and what did they do for White House? Some people they go excursion, where they go book appointment to come and see all of the things, come and see how it is physically. But me and you know, say back in the 60s, 70s, even early 80s, the presidential villa was where in the presidential villa was in Lagos State. You could just walk up there, you know. But you know how many, you know, so they run. Just imagine say Tinubu dey Lagos State like this now. Anyway, so you have to understand that it is a class struggle. They've divided. So all of them are standing on one man's mandate now. The judges are standing on his mountain in their large numbers. The well-meaning ones are not, but majority we heard in the at the conference they had, they said on Tinubu's mandates they are standing. They sang it out themselves, loud and clear. All the House of Assembly, both Labour Party, where we talk, say make na vote, no vote for, say na special purpose vehicle party, emergency party, make na no vote, people no hear us. All the people you voted for them blindly because of one man, they are standing on Tinubu's mandate. Most of them, they don't defect. Standing on Tinubu's mandate today, what can you do about it? Because you keep acting instinctively. You keep acting reactionary. You think the world revolves around your bomb and your brains only. You think the world revolves around your emotions only. You think the world revolves around your religion, traditions only. I posted something today. I said that if you look at why is it that almost every region, demographics, geographical regions, they have a peculiar religion recognition, to the point that the books ascribed to that religion, recognizing that the people of that region. In fact, they called the people of that region in those books. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, Post. Maybe I should.
Yeah, I do. I do understand what you're saying.
The people you go to Southern Asia and Eastern Asia, Southeast Asia generally, they have Buddhism, they have Confucianism, they have Taoism, they have how many Hinduism that they practice, they worship. In their book, Hindu book, like the Bible, they made reference to them, called their lineage, called their tribe, recognize each and every one of them and the role they should be playing as per their belief system. You go to the Torah, who owns the Torah? The Jews people. Torah spoke massively about the Jews. In fact, Torah said to anybody that is not Jews is an infidel. Recognize the Jews. That's what they use largely in Israel today. You go again to Western Asia and Christendom. Christendom is now Europe. Europe was called Christendom before. They changed it. From Christendom, they changed it to Europa. From Europa, they changed it to Europia. That's what brought about Europe. Christendom that you see now, that is now Europe today, and Southwest Asia, they were the ones that brought about the Bible. If you look, the Bible call, the Bible recognize them. If you look the Bible named them, made reference to them. He called them as per who they truly are. You go to Quran. Where did the Quran originate from? Saudi Arabia, Mecca, to be precise. He made reference to them. All their names, they there. Who they be, they there. Everybody know where that. I can't look Africa. Which one come from Africa among all these things? Because Bible and the Quran now popular now for Africa. The people will get their thing. They own their thing own them, their thing recognize them. You Africa, how far now you get them? Africa has nothing to do with the origin of Quran. Africa has nothing to do with the origin of the Bible. Origin of the Bible, it has nothing to do with it. So when you can't look at, you see the confusion. Okay, let's take Nigeria. Which one come from Nigeria? At least China, everybody knows that Confucianism come from China. Buddhism come from China. Hinduism come from India. Which one come from Nigeria? Oh, okay. Nigeria are made up of people from different okay, fine. Oh yeah, make I come Yoruba. Yeah, you know, say Yoruba na get Ifa. Today Yorubas, many Yorubas, they don't even want hear Ifa for their year.
Yeah, majority are in the both side of the Abrahamic religion. Majority
Don't
of
get
the
them now.
rival.
They no one hear. If they hear Ifa, now like say you don't commit diabolical.
Yeah. Ifa means evil to them. Evil.
Are they here?
I said Ifa to many Nigerians in based on their programming. Ifa means evil to them, and that is quite a very sad situation. It's not true. It's far from the truth. Far from the truth. Ifa is not evil.
It has nothing to do with evil. It's a pure philosophy. Pure one. We contain many rudiments, many elements. Yeah, that's what I'm calling it. Many elements. Religious elements, spiritual elements, any element we want to, even physics, math, logic, everything there inside a fact. The spiritual aspect, now they feel all of that. Oh, you not do the spiritual. If you go learn the basic way with your tradition, you hate her. Your papa tell you to make you hate her, say that diabolic. And you want to make progress. You see, that's why I said Nigeria is not due for a revolution, but Nigerians are not ready for that revolution. They are cowards, hypocrites.
Absolutely.
There is no doubt about that. I don't need to tell who I am. But in our mass number is what I'm referring to, not general. I'm not making hasty generalization here. In our mass number, we don't seem to be ready for revolution. We don't seem to be ready for it, because for us to be ready, you know what that means? We all must go back to the roots. That's what it means.
Exactly.
That's what it means. And we must be ready to do that job. I don't have issue with you being a Christian or Muslim. I don't have issue with you sharing. But if you look at it, take a good look at it. Why are the Chinese people keen to their Buddhism? Why are they keen to their Confucianism? To the point that Chinese went as far as infusing that Confucianism into their political structure. And And this is where, when I started this conversation, I said, why is it that our constitution did not allow us to be swearing in all these leaders with our traditional power as well? Why the Bible and Quran? There is something wrong somewhere. You cannot see in China where they will take Bible and Quran to swear in you as a no way, Kojo. You cannot see in India, no way, Kojo. All of them get their own. That one not be their own. Bible and you can go and be Christian, no problem. You can go and be Muslim. You are open to practice any religion. But when it comes to our national matters, we know who we truly are. We know who we truly are. So why? Tell me, you, Comrade Fresh. Tell me anywhere where your name they recognize for Bible. Short it penny. So otigbo Ayotolari in the Bible ni. Ogbo Ogundipe in the Bible ni.
Even Ibukun.
Ṣogbo Ibukun in the Bible ni. Ayetoro.
Ayodeji.
Egbo Ayetoro in the Bible ni. Quran nko. Quran nko. Did you hear that? So waiting now, how they come we write that narrative now, say, okay, say, make we come begin to call ourselves. Now so they can't name me now they name me Isaac, name another person Peter, name another person Paul. Say my name is in the Bible. What name? How is that your name? That's an English name. You don't know the origin of the name? So this is what we are telling people. We all must be willing to return to the source. Because for us, there is no correlation between skin color and ability to exploit people. Anybody can come and exploit people. But the source will guide you. The source, go and ask our brothers in Cuba. People don't know, say African people they plenty for Cuba. Go and ask our brothers in Brazil. Why do you think they still practice our tradition that you that want to choose to be bastard of Africans, you abandon that tradition? But people in Brazil every year, including their presidents, join them in practicing that tradition that you call diabolic. They brainwashed you. Because go and read the Malays, the Malay Revolution. It is they infused this tradition to revolt against the Spanish government in Brazil. They almost won. Now one of us again go betray our people there. But at that point, the Spanish knew that their time was up. What about the Maroons of Jamaica? You must go back to the source. It is the source that can guide you. See, Jesus is not going to come and guide us to develop our nation. Nobody say then say Jesus is not going to come and guide us on how we are going to develop Nigeria. God is not going to come and guide us or teach us on how we're going to develop Nigeria. We must go back to the source. Take it or leave it. That is why you will remain confused till thy kingdom come. Your parents were confused, your grandfathers were confused, your brothers were confused, you also will remain confused because you're not ready to do the real job. They lied to you that your origin is diabolic and you believed it. But you go to China, you embrace what they brought about in China. You go to all the Asian countries, you embrace what they brought about there. You go to the Europe, you embrace what they brought about there. But you're not ready to embrace what your own ancestor brought about to you. You call it diabolic. I'm not saying it's perfect, but we could have evolved if we were allowed to. I think I'll end the conversation here for now. Thank you very much, host.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are so happy to have you, Comrade Ohaihe, and you've highlighted a very profound situation that is wrong with us as a pathetic country. A country of a pathetic concern that do not really recognize the importance of maintaining national heritage. A country that does not know how to maintain the cultural and historical heritage, but would go for the foreign ones that was sold to us And of course, they have recognized the fact that those foreign ones do not have the kind of efficacy that can deliver consequence for action. We all know the God of justice in Yoruba land called Oro. Oro is it doesn't take nonsense. We all know the God of justice called Ailala. Many like that. That doesn't take nonsense, but they will never adapt all of these deities, but they will go for the foreign ones because they know exactly what they are doing. And of course, we have been running this live stream for the past 3 hours, 49 minutes. And of course, we have a time cap of 4 hours based on the platform that we are using right now. We are streaming across 4 platforms, 2 Facebook accounts, 1 YouTube account, and of course on X. We are firing on all cylinders, and we have spent 3 hours, 50 minutes, and we are about to draw the curtain for today. It's weekend, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want to take our time for unnecessary reasons. Of course, what we are doing is quite necessary, but we don't want to really stretch our audience because today is Sunday. Tomorrow is another day, and we have done justice to the country of a pathetic concern, from the concerns of a farmer to the concern of a conscientious professor in University of Ilorin, and of course down to the streets of Lagos, Festac, Nigeria, from the perspective of an ordinary Nigerian like Comrade OIA, to an ordinary Nigerian like Comrade Ibukun, like myself. So we have observed this whole thing true, and from every lens. We know that we are living in a country of a pathetic concern, of a particular concern. And how do we wriggle our way out of this mess? We have to work together as a people. It has to take a united effort, a united effort. You don't have to sit back and relax and expect things to sit right. We all have to go all out. Revolution is the way. Political revolution, and of course, revolution via the barricade. If and when we know that the system will rig an election, this current system of things under the President Tinubu era is not prepared to really conduct a credible, free, fair elections. And we are prepared for the eventualities. That is why we tell our people, be prepared to confront the system that has kept you subservient. Be prepared to confront it by the ballot. We have a political organization that is very, very much a pro-people party. Find out about it, register, be a member, and be prepared to vote. Go collect that PVC and be prepared to align with parties like AAC. That's our recommendation. If you have any other conscientious party, feel free to exercise your right and your choice to vote. And of course, we have always said, after you have voted, that is the beginning of the journey. Be prepared for the next line of action to defend the votes. Defend your votes by making sure that you bring about the mandate that will emancipate the country, the mandate of liberation. Many will argue that Omoyele Sowore represents the interests of the masses of the people, that all of these other politicians are just, they are just placeholders for the neo-colonial imperialists. But well, we keep all hands on deck, and of course, all hands must be on decks in terms of the Nigerian reality and the Nigerian situation. All hands on decks will mean that we'll put foot on the ground to confront an oppressed system. We shut down every economic, nervous system of the country to bring about the kind of, change that we want. Not this packaged, theatrics that they call governance that we have obtainable now. Big shout out to as many of those that are joining us, that have stayed true to us, to the 49 people that joined us today. Big shout out to you. This broadcast is replayed. We can replay it basically on all platforms. You can replay it on X, Movement Radio. You can replay it on Liberation Chat, the audio version. You can also replay it on Facebook, Civic Space NG, Civic Space NG on Facebook. You can replay it on Alaba Ferreira on Facebook, and of course on YouTube. You can replay it on Movement Radio. So we are firing on all cylinders. If you are yet to follow Civic Space channel on YouTube, Civic Space channel on YouTube, kindly go check it out and subscribe. If you have not subscribed to the Movement Radio on YouTube, kindly also consider subscribing. And of course, if you are yet to follow Liberation Chat on X, follow Liberation Chat. If you like what you are saying, if you want us to continue doing what we are doing, do all of these things. Share the live stream, comment, like it, participate, let us know that you love what we do. It is what will give us the drive to keep on doing what we do. You can imagine if we have 1,000 people streaming with us live and direct, that will send a very strong signal to every forces of propaganda in Nigeria. We have to constitute a force, all right? And it is by sharing our platform. Tell somebody today about the Movement Radio. Tell somebody today about Liberation Chats. Tell somebody today about Civic Space NG. It is very, very important. This is what will give us the necessary alternative in terms of media coverage. If we have our own media platform that is non-biased, that is very, very, that gives the voices. If you want to pick up the mic, in this, you can actually use the link on YouTube and of course reach out to us. But of course, we are about to round things up today. We will be back tomorrow. I can give you that assurance. Same time, same channel, right? By 5 p.m. latest, we will be out West African time. We will be out again for another juicy topic that would be of national interest. Join us again. Of course, do not forget to be at alert and be an active citizen. Do not be a don't look citizen, a zombie citizen. No, have a mind of your own. Have critical thinking skill. Make research with that smartphone on your hand. Make your own research and form an informed opinion about matters of national interest. We are here to always engage with Nigerians, the Nigerian people, and of course to call out the anyhowness of the Nigerian system of things. We project all of these things to you for one reason and one reason only, for the liberation of the oppressed people of Nigeria. It is the reason why a lot of this investment is being done by conscientious Nigerians all over the world. Big shout out to you, Comrade Ohaye, for making out the time amidst your very busy schedule to join us today. Thank you very much indeed. African Wahala, you rock. Thank you so much. You have been with us all the way, despite your busy schedule. The Africa in the Box, Comrade Sheung Ayilara, big shout out to you, sir. You have always been available to always address the people and to give us your perspective, which are very, very much revolutionary. Big shout out to everybody that joined the live. Engineer Taura, our very own Comrade Alaba Ferreira, big shout out to you. Thank you so much for giving us this platform. We appreciate you very much indeed. And to you, Nigerian people that have watched us, that have been watching us, that have stayed tuned to us, that have liked and followed and subscribed, you rock. Thank you so very much. That means we have to keep doing what we have to do to onboard and build this great community of conscious Nigerians. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow, same time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.